Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cate-Cast, an entertainment podcast. My name is Ezra, and I'm joined by
Ahmad
and Sawyer.
So today we're doing something a little different. We did our predictions last week for who we thought was gonna win Game Awards. We had some speculation about announcements, but I think we were all pretty wildly wrong about those. So,
very wildly wrong.
Yeah. So. Today we're just gonna run down the winners and then who won and who lost in the predictions game, and then after that Ahmad has pulled up an article of the announcements, so we'll just run through those quickly, and then after that we're gonna do what we're gonna call homework for the semester, because this is our last episode of the semester.
We have a long winter break.
Yeah, we have a very a 6-week-long winter break. I have some ideas for how to keep the YouTube channel alive while we're not doing a podcast, but we'll get to that later. But we have homework for everybody who has seen or not seen things.
Yeah. And it's homework for us too, as well as you.
Honestly, it's mostly homework for Ahmad.
This episode should have been called Ahmad's homework.
I'll put that in the description.
So without further ado, Ahmad, can you read off the winner for best esports game?
Do you want?
I guess I'll do our predictions first. Yeah. And then
good, because I can't really remember what I said.
Yeah. So, best esports game: Sawyer, Overwatch, okay. Ahmad, Fortnite, Ezra, CSGO.
Okay.
And the winner
is
Fortnite.
Or
actually, sorry, Overwatch.
I
pulled the lava.
I have to apologize.
That's not the correct. The winner was actually Overwatch.
I'm surprised it wasn't Fortnite.
Yeah, so we all wait. Who did anybody? Did you guys?
Yeah, I said Overwatch.
Yeah, he said Overwatch. So
you're
let me grab
situation.
my pen. Actually, we're gonna keep score.
I'm kind of I remember our discussion about Overwatch. And I remember you were mostly keen on
Sawyer.
Well, only because it was just through process of elimination of seeing how much money those tournaments have raked in.
Yeah.
Ahmad.
And Fortnite's raked in a lot of money too, but it's more kids. Not
necessarily. All right, so Sawyer gets 1 point.
1 point. I'm pretty sure Sawyer's won, but we can say that.
Yeah, I mean,
looking at this list,
But
looking at this list, I think Sawyer.
You.
Sorry, I have to apologize. All right, anyways, we got to keep going. Best debut indie. Was I think it was.
I think I know.
Actually, I don't think it.
I don't think any of us got it. If it's what I think it is, I think none of us got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the nominees.
There was
Florence, Moss.
There was Combat 2018.
So Ahmad and I predicted Florence, and Sawyer predicted Moss.
The winner was The Messenger.
So none of us got that one.
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't think any of us had played any of those games.
I don't play a lot of indie games.
Yeah, neither do I.
But yeah.
Anyways, best student game. So you and I said Recharge.
Mm-hmm.
I know what won. It was Combat. Ahmad said Jira, so we missed that one too.
Yeah, it was Combat, 2018.
I didn't see that coming.
I thought Recharge was the title that would win, but you can't judge games based on titles, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer game was Fortnite. We all get a point for that one. It won, right?
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah.
I would have been shocked.
That wouldn't have made. Also, side note, everybody was talking about how Joe and Anthony Russo were presenting. They presented for Best Multiplayer Game because they worked with the creators of Fortnite on the development of Thanos in Fortnite. Mm-hmm. So they tell a story about how how they were personally involved with with Thanos in Fortnite. Yeah. So, anyways, best sports racing game. I said FIFA. Ahmad, you said 2K, and Sire said Forza. Forza 1. So
I'm actually shocked at myself that won.
So Sire has 3 points. Ahmad, you and I only have 1.
Forza, it's not hard to see the game.
I do want to mention briefly while I'm here. Unfortunately, Taylor could not be with us, but I know what you would say for this category is that NASCAR Heat 3 was not even nominated for best racing game, and Forza won. So just had to mention that.
To be fair, it was lumped in with sports and racing.
If it was racing, if it was solely racing, I would say Forza.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. I mean, Forza won anyways.
I mean, but like if sports and racing.
Best strategy. None of us got that right. It was something else.
It was Into the Breach.
We all thought it was Valkyria Chronicles 4, and that didn't win, which I was surprised. Best family game. We also got wrong.
Oh my god!
It was Overcooked
2.
So, we got
out.
that
What was it? 3 Nintendo games.
Yeah. I was. I think wasn't Nintendo Labo on there?
It was a Labo, Super Mario Party, and I can't remember the third one.
The third one was
what else came out this year? I've already forgotten.
This year has been so crazy for games.
No, there was the third. Was it? No, that didn't come out.
I'm trying to remember. It was.
I was gonna say Toad Treasure Tracker, but I was like, that's 2016.
Yeah,
it's like
that would be a re-release. I don't remember.
A re-release.
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you. So let's keep moving. Yeah. Best fighting game. We all get a point for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, that was a given.
To be fair, I kind of predicted that one for you guys. So.
Oh, hey, come on. I know how massive that game is in the esports scene. I knew that was gonna win.
Best role-playing game, we also all got wrong. What was best role-playing? Monster Hunter
World, yeah.
Which is, I think it's deserved. It wasn't for me.
What did we say? What did we say for that one?
We said Octopath.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought for sure Octopath would take it.
And that was the RPG category, right?
Yeah.
Well, Square not taking the RPG category is kind of a shocker.
Square isn't as known for their RPGs nowadays.
I mean, that's their iconic genre, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's what built them, but Final Fantasy isn't the same as it used to be.
That's true.
So, anyways, best action-adventure game, I think we all got this wrong.
God of War.
Yep, God of War. This is where you start to notice that where we thought that Red Dead would sweep categories, and it won several categories, but where we thought Red Dead would sweep categories, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Disappointing as it.
God of War won those categories.
Oh, yeah.
So, that'll be a. We said Spider-Man and Red Dead. Ahmad, you said Spider-Man because you are very naive. And the two of us.
In a great way.
Well, here's the
thing.
You said watch you lose, and you lost anyway. So I mean, yeah.
I mean, I lost, yeah, but best action game was Dead Cells, right?
I believe so.
I think we all got a point for Dead Cells.
Yeah, Dead Cells. Yep, it's Dead Cells.
Ahmad, we're
no. The ones that we
didn't get Beat Saber. So VR, AR. We said Beat
there
Saber.
weren't exactly a lot of high-profile VR.
Yeah, none of us had played any of them. I was just guessing based on how big Beat Saber seems to be.
There were some that I was surprised didn't.
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Yeah, like I thought Astrobot was like a short DLC like.
I thought it was like a thing for PlayStation, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation VR, but I thought it was like a concept thing, not necessarily a game.
I have no idea. Yeah. So, best indie, Celeste won, right? Ahmad, you and I went for that. You said Obra Dinn. Obra Dinn won something else.
Well, I said Obra Dinn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember saying that.
I mean, it says Sire, Obra Dinn, and then
I probably did based
Celeste.
on the art style or something like that.
Best for impact,
That was Celeste, right?
You and I said Celeste, and then Ahmad said Florence. So this is the first time that Ahmad and I did not sync on a win, and then this is the first time that you and I both got a point. So so right now,
You and I are competing.
no. So you have 6, I have 5, Ahmad has 4.
Wow, that's smug.
This is all. This is
just to let the viewers know. Ezra has a smug smile on his face.
So do you.
I'm losing my what I was.
Yeah, best for impact, best performance. Sire wins that one again.
Yeah, who did I say again?
I said Christopher Judge.
Yeah, that's I knew.
And then
That guy's got a great voice.
you and I said Yuri Lowenthal. We were both very naive.
See, that's
wait,
who I would have
actually,
wanted.
wasn't best performance somebody else? Wasn't it Red Dead? Look it
Wait,
up.
did Arthur? Because I thought.
Yeah, I think he won
Oh,
Red
yeah,
Dead.
Roger Clark.
Yeah, so none of us
Okay.
get one for that.
Never mind. I retract. He still has a great voice, but I retract my
Yeah.
win. Well, I don't retract my win, but
Yeah, none of us got that.
Not all of it was.
It's Roger Clark. I
Yeah, it's
remember.
Roger Clark. Yeah. Oh, that was a close one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm still competing now, huh? Well, no, not really.
Something I forgot to mention was that Jeff Keighley during the quote unquote pre-show, which really it wasn't very different from the show proper. It didn't have guest presenters.
No,
I think is the
just him standing on a platform reading
yeah.
off, yeah.
Which Jeff Keighley is Jeff Keighley, so I'm okay with that. But he was talking about how they do have the voting, like the people's vote, but it's not totally based on democratic.
Yeah,
it's not a totally democratic selection. So I thought that was. I'd like to see how the people's votes are incorporated into the picks.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this may have been a mistake. I have best Dolby and best Spotify.
Oh, we said that because it was presented by Dolby.
Yeah. Best sound design, I think, is Dolby.
Mm-hmm.
So
best score was Spotify.
So the two of us said Red Dead, and then I put Sire thinks God of War has a chance. I think Red Dead won.
Red Dead won.
Score too. I can't remember if it won for score as well.
For this one's for sound design by Dolby, and then score is Sony's score.
Well, with Sony, that'd be God of War.
Do I have 7 points now? So
yeah, best score presented by Spotify.
Was who?
So I'm in the lead right now.
Okay.
Wait. So.
Okay. So
best. Okay.
Score?
Best score. Ahmad, you said Celeste. Sire, you said God of War, and I said Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Yes. Haha.
Okay.
I have taken the lead.
He's stolen the lead.
You stole it. Oh.
I'm gonna be very
How many do you
impressed
have
with
now?
myself.
How many? You have 8?
So I have 8. You have 5. Sire has 6, 7, something like that.
Okay,
6 or 7.
something like that.
It's 6 or 7.
Ezra, come on.
I'll give
You are
the
sabotaging my lead.
I'll give the win to you if you have 7. If you have 1 less.
We can just say 7. Just to say, we're just at 7.
If you have no.
This math doesn't check out here.
Anyways, it's
Wait,
a
1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
5, 6,
5,
6, 7, 8.
So we have 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay. So 6. So it's 6.
Yeah.
So
Sire has 6.
This is very basic math.
So my problem was that I accidentally put the 6s, the 6th tally inside the diagonal line, so I got confused.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I'm pretty sure you have 6.
Yeah.
We can go over this again if you really
Yeah,
want.
I don't really care.
It's because you won 2 by yourself. So it's...
Best art. The two of us said Octopath. Sorry, you said God of War. I think God of War won that.
No, actually, it was Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh, it was. We all got that wrong.
Best art direction, yeah.
I'm kind of just assuming whatever Red Dead didn't win, God of War won. So.
Which I'm gonna have to play that because I love the original ones, but I haven't played the new one yet.
Best narrative.
Red Dead.
Red Dead. Sire thinks Spider-Man has a chance.
Hey, in my heart, it wins.
So I have 9.
Oh man, maybe not. Maybe some. Wait, actually, we haven't gotten to the God of War win, so never mind. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say it.
the big.
Yeah, the big upset. Best game direction. God of War. Ahmad thinks Red Dead has a chance. Sire thinks A Way Out has a chance. I'm a little surprised actually that A Way Out didn't win. Mostly because I think it's one of like the most creatively directed games.
God of War won.
I guess I give myself a point for that.
Okay. What does that
My
mean?
name isn't there, and I don't remember predicting God of War
Wait,
for best game.
so
direction.
then never mind. You don't get a point. You know what do you mean? I guess
Point
I get
rescinded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I do.
Sure, I'll take away. I'll take away.
Real loose with the rules here.
I'll take away my one. I'll take away my
I'm pretty sure you said
my
Spider-Man.
4 ahead.
I'm pretty sure you said Spider-Man.
I don't think I said. I'm pretty sure I didn't predict.
Hey, when we get to the
Oh, you might have
Oscars-
said Red Dead actually. You think you might have, because I said Red Dead and you said Red Dead for that. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
in
pretty
any
sure
case,
you didn't say God of War.
I win. Because best ongoing was either Fortnite and Sire Thinks Rainbow Six.
Hey, Rainbow Six, it would deserve it. I mean,
Yeah,
like
okay,
they
It might
completely-
deserve it. What
I put-
was the
it
winner?
It was Fortnite. I put Fortnite.
It was
too,
Fortnite?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I get a point.
Yeah, and then what was?
And then Game of the Year. We all said Red Dead,
But it was not.
and it was God of War.
Yes.
So I'm okay with it.
I'm
I
okay
don't
with
have an
losing
issue.
that one because I think.
I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, I'm not as
by the
mad.
way, I win the predictions game, even if
Game,
my math
air
was
quotes.
even if my math was off. I still had more points than Sawyer or Ahmad.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay.
you could do it again. I'm not
No,
wrong.
I'm good. Well, I'll get you back at the Oscars.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna get
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
mean,
get-
that's probably true.
yeah, because you're not as
Although I can smell Oscar bait a mile away.
Oh, I mean, it's you can see it
no,
when you look at it.
So-
even sometimes there are some surprises. So
Sometimes.
yeah, and you haven't seen all the films, so how would
Are you really telling me that you didn't think Shape of Water was gonna win?
I'm pretty sure me and there's some other people. At least I thought it was gonna be Lady Bird. I thought,
That
Sure.
is very Oscar bait.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be Lady Bird, but
I mean, basically every nominee for Best Picture is Oscar bait.
Yeah.
But this
That
year-
being said, with Shape of Water, this is way off topic, I know, but Shape of Water, for it being a whole woman's relationship with a fish man, seemed a little bit out of the realm of typical Academy.
yeah,
Yes.
Bait.
But when you read the description, you suddenly realize, yes, this is very Oscar baity.
Yes.
In any case, yeah, I mean, to be perfectly clear, God of War is just as much Game Awards bait as Red Dead is.
I wouldn't call it bait. I just think they're both
The same,
highly-
well, but the same way that Moonlight and less to a lesser degree Moonlight, but the same way that Shape of Water is sort of Oscar baity.
or La La Land.
Yeah,
La La
or
Land
La
for-
La
La La
Land,
for sure.
definitely. I think God of War and Red Dead are both very sort of like they're the kinds of games that win award shows.
Yeah.
Right?
That being said, I think what differentiates them from being like an Oscar bait type of thing is typically Oscar movies go for, oh, we're going to win the Oscar, but not necessarily the popularity vote. The
Yeah.
Game Awards has it so it's both. They
Yeah.
win the popularity
Yeah.
and the game.
In
Awards.
some way, it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Oscars,
Yeah.
it's 99% of the time it's something
Yeah.
that's not really popular.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wins.
So, yeah,
Like, you're
I'm-
never going to see Infinity War win this year for Best
Oh
Picture.
no.
Even though
Which-
it probably should.
Yeah, and Black Panther, they're really pushing for it, but I don't think it's going to get that Best Picture nomination.
And it's not the best Marvel movie of the year, even.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
no. I
So,
would say Black Panther. I mean, if you're talking critically and commercially, I would say Black Panther.
if we're talking commercially, yeah, it most definitely
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
But if we're talking best critically, I still think in terms of a feat that Infinity War was a bigger feat than Black Panther was. I mean, think of how to pull all of those characters together and put them even in a coherent story is quite a feat.
I see what you're saying, but I respectfully disagree. Just because, like, I think the Black Panther just critically, it was just more successful.
Oh, I think I agree with you on that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
critically more successful. I'm just saying I think Avengers deserves
Oh,
it more.
okay, yeah.
Just based on the feat it was.
Oh, yeah.
I still think
Oh, for
critically Black Panther would win.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and I would also, and I know there's probably also the cultural significance. Well, Into the Spider-Verse also has that same
yeah.
cultural.
But Into the Spider-Verse is going
which
to be amazing.
it's going to win Best Animated Picture.
Oh,
for sure.
I mean, I would hope so. At least a nomination. At least. Wait, what?
Yeah,
So,
Disney didn't put out a movie.
What has Disney put out so far? This Wreck-It Ralph embraced
Wreck-It Ralph's not.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. If Wreck-It Ralph wins, like I have a friend
Then
who
I will
talks
stop
about
watching.
how Disney always wins, even though they don't always deserve it.
I'll stop.
That would be the instance in which that's true.
I would stop watching the Oscars. I mean, I would.
I've already stopped watching the Oscars.
I'm probably not going to watch the Oscars, but I've never watched the Oscars.
Which, I know. This is having mentioned the Oscars. We have to bring this up. There's currently no host for the Oscars.
Wait, I thought it was.
He's Kevin Hart's out.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Kevin Hart got fired.
There are
Why?
some tweets that resurfaced with some
Homophobic.
comedic, some homophobic jokes, and so after 2 failed apologies, he's out.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
and it's a whole thing.
Yikes!
Yeah.
You see these tweets,
See,
man. These tweets are killing.
I don't really want to get into the whole should he not thing. What I want to address specifically is what's going to happen with the award show.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because they have come out and said.
There's no backup.
Well, they've come out and said there's no backup, and they've come out and said we don't even know if we want to host. Maybe we'll just do it without a host. And I'm like, well,
So you'd still
Okay.
have presenters but no hosts.
Oh,
Maybe.
Well, I mean, at least you can get rid of that boring, inevitable political monologue you get at the beginning of all of them.
Yeah.
You can avoid that. Which,
that's true.
That's surprising. Wow.
I actually would be interested to see how they could do an Oscars without a host.
Yeah,
Just get Jeff
yeah.
Keighley to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley,
He'll do it.
do it. He's a gift to entertainment.
Oh, it really is. Yeah.
Like he has built the Game Awards, not himself, but he has been more than instrumental.
I think he,
And-
in terms of Oscars potential, I think he would do a good job.
Yeah.
I think you've always got, what's his face? I'm really any of the late night talk show hosts
Yeah.
will do it. Even though I don't like most of them will do it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to give it to James Corden.
Oh yeah. Oh, I want to see Conan host one.
Yeah, it would
I'd be
interesting.
okay with Conan. For me, if I had to pick, it would be James Corden. I like Conan a lot, but I like him more when he's freeform. And Corden, I think, is really good at the
I would
like
to see
reading
it.
off of the.
As much as I like Gordon, I would go.
Conan.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of a complete shock move if the Academy's like, okay, there were some insensitive tweets, so our next host is going to be Ricky Gervais.
Oh my god! Yeah, I want to see that. Well, I mean,
It
he's
turns
hosted
out
the
to
Golden
be
Globes, like so many times.
Yeah.
Also, the whole controversy of just like being able to edit your tweets, is that like because like people make mistakes, of course, but
Also,
what do you
these
guys think
tweets
about
We've
Well, they're
we've
like
given
10
it
years
we've
old.
given
Yeah.
it some thought, and in light of recent events,
Because people do change.
We're gonna have this be hosted by Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god! Yeah, I don't
Like
think
honestly
anybody would
though,
turn
like I
that.
saw one. It's like, in light of recent revelations, we now don't think Mel Gibson's that bad.
Oh,
It's
Mel
like-
Gibson's not that bad. Honestly,
In light of recent allegations, we're gonna have
Bill
Alec,
Cosby
uh,
host.
no, not Bill Cosby. Alec
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Wait, why? Nothing's wrong with that.
Well, there's. No,
Wait,
There are so
has-
many
has
people
something-
we don't want to
Has
host
stuff
the
come
Oscars.
out for Alec Baldwin, or is it?
It's only
I
a
mean,
matter
he's
of
always
time.
been a jerk.
Yeah.
He's always been a jerk, which is really sad because he's the one who hosted or narrated Thomas
Yeah.
the Tank Engine.
Oh, well, why,
Well, he was one of the narrators.
Why don't they give it to Nicolas Cage? He'd do it.
Do it.
I want to see
Yeah.
Nick Cage host.
Nicolas
Oh
Cage,
my god.
Let Nick
Michael
host.
Keaton.
Hashtag let Nick host. Oh my god.
I
yeah.
think he almost deserves it at
he
this
does
point.
deserve it. Honestly, he's like.
He would be one of the strangest
Oh
award
my
shows.
god.
yeah,
I would
ever
love
viewed.
to see that.
I might actually watch it.
And my
Nick
top,
Cage is hosting.
and my top James Franco and Anne Hathaway coming to the James Franco specifically
No,
coming
do
to
Seth.
coming to the-
what's his face?
Seth Rogen and
No,
No, Seth, not Seth Rogen. Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
that
hosted
would be
it before.
interesting.
He's hosted
Yeah.
it before, and it was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
It wasn't that bad.
They should just do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty
It's
talented.
funny. He's a cool guy.
Who else are we thinking? I think we're going freeform now.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean, I'm thinking...
We'll count the announcements as part of the freeform, because
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything more than 2 that we wouldn't want to say.
Yeah.
Joker and Smash melted my mind.
we want to say... the announcements.
Yeah, we're going basically for the rest of the show, now that we got the Game Awards out of the way. Since it's the end of the semester and we're lazy, we're just going to talk about whatever's on our mind for 2 hours.
So, some of the bigger announcements during the Game Awards, Joker from Persona 5
in
joins
Smash
the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate
Brothers.
Yeah.
Which is
you have to say
insane.
Super Smash Brothers in order.
in order for our professors.
Smash Brothers. Did you see they had like the
Piranha Plant?
Well, I'm talking about it was this like I guess it's to me it's an Easter egg since I haven't played it.
No.
Solid Snake's codec calls.
Oh yeah.
They brought them back, but they're not re-recorded.
Oh.
It's the
They're not
same ones from
re-recorded,
Brawl.
and they didn't have any new ones.
Yeah, do you know the reason for that?
Konami.
Well, partially Konami, and also the fact that they would have to bring in like there's
Oh
there's
yeah,
some
like
reasons-
the
the
one of the
Japanese voice actor
actors.
of Colonel Campbell died in 2012.
So they were
I think.
like, we're not doing this.
Because like they'd have the English voice actor. Also that, and it's a little bit if they brought back the actors from Kojima's flagship series and used Kojima dialogue or like characters, it would be a little weird.
That would be weird. Yeah.
Also, we have the Far Cry New Dawn premiere.
I thought it was weird that they kind of just spoiled their game that came out this year, but that's all right.
Also, this game looks just like Rage 2.
Interesting.
Just like Rage 2.
Interesting.
More grass than sand than there is in Rage 2. But like in terms of wacky post-apocalyptic story, it's Rage 2.
Sort of open
Far
world.
Cry Cry fans are gonna enjoy it.
It's gonna be the same formula as the other ones.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. The Far Cry games have got a formula that works, and they stick to it.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep making Far Cry games until they don't sell.
I mean, like, Far Cry 3
and they'll
was,
always be controversial.
Far Cry 3 was great. Far Cry 4 was basically Far Cry 3 in Nepal. I didn't play Primal. I haven't played 5. I haven't played Blood Dragon. I haven't played 2. I just played 3.
The Stranger Things 3.
Yeah, they announced Stranger Things Season 3.
Also, the 16-bit.
And Stranger Things, the game.
The 16-bit game, coming out.
Wait,
Stranger Things
3 was already announced.
Was it already announced by the
time? Yeah, the TV series was announced. I was.
They're filming right now.
Yeah, I was talking about the 16-bit game.
They announced Stranger Things Season 3, the game. And I was like, what?
We got the trailer for the game based off the season before the trailer for the season even dropped.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. But
games have transcended medium.
Oh my god.
They have transcended.
We ascended to a new plane of existence.
Anyways, let's
So yeah, it's a 16-bit game, which is really interesting. It's sort of bringing it back.
Fits with the style of Stranger Things
for sure.
Yeah.
But is there any other announcements that come?
I was very surprised to see. So like when I first saw the Marvel logo pop up, I'm like, okay, it's the Square game. Yeah, the Square Enix.
Yeah, I was ready. I was like, oh, Marvel
already.
What?
Okay,
we're gonna leave with this, and then Ultimate Alliance 3.
And like when I first saw the art style, I was like, wait a minute, Square Enix. I don't know if this art style would work for the Square Enix game.
Square Enix.
Yeah,
I was like, this can't be.
Like I saw the art style, I'm like, that's very different from what I thought this was gonna be, and it ends with Ultimate Alliance 3 exclusive on Nintendo
and
Switch.
There's no Square Enix logo to be found. Yeah. So they're not.
Oh wow, this game it looks really different.
Yeah, it looks very different from the first two.
Yeah, wow, it's...
Also, there's a new they've said, even though you don't see it in the trailer, the classic, I guess air quotes, classic camera angle from the first two games is still gonna be present, but they also have, I think they call it like a new camera mode where you can get not necessarily over the shoulder, but closer to behind the character, like a standard brawler.
That's right. Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first two. I played very little of 2, I think.
This roster is going to be very different from the first two, however, though. Because the MCU was either didn't exist or in the very early stages of existing.
That's true. X-Men are going to be in it, though. So.
Yeah. X-Men's going to be in it. I'm not... don't expect... I wouldn't expect Ghost Rider. I wouldn't expect Blade. You're going to get...
No, I think Ghost Rider has a chance. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's true. But I think you should mostly expect the Guardians will be in it.
Confirmed,
yeah. Guardians will be in it, Scarlet Witch, Avengers, the
X-Men.
core movie line.
Well, Wolverine.
I don't know if they're going to get the others.
No confirmation of other X-Men.
Maybe Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. SPX.
I just want to take a second and compliment Sar's shirt that he has on.
Oh yeah, classic
Yeah.
Atari.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has an Atari classic shirt, and it's cool. But Dragon Age, I mean.
Oh yeah, there was a Dragon Age teaser. Doesn't mean anything.
It just says, "Hey, we're working on something."
We're making Dragon Age. I think that those are really the only big
The
ones.
only big ones. I mean, there's Atlas, The Outer
Yeah.
Worlds.
A lot of new IPs announced.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, yeah, there were a lot of Epic had a lot of indie game announcements.
Ancestors, the Humankind.
Or I don't know about indie.
That's
games,
good.
but,
That's kind of a game Oscar bait.
Oscar bait,
Or
looks
like
like
Game
it.
Award bait.
Game Awards, but
Yeah.
yeah. But it's still conceptual.
Yeah.
So it's like who even knows?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the announcements.
I remember when Joker got announced. When you turned the card, and it's the Smash logo. I was like, holy
Lost your
crap!
mind, yeah.
And I was also like, oh man. My character from Persona 5 named Ezra Cheesy
Oh my
is
god.
gonna be in a video, is gonna be in Smash Brothers. That's weird.
So they said, now this is the first of 5, right?
Yep.
So the fighter packs.
And they said that this sort of sets the tone for the DLC fighters.
So the DLC fighters, they said there's going to be 5 like ultimate whatever they
yeah,
call
which doesn't count Piranha Plant.
Is each of the 5 only one character?
Yes.
Okay. So who are we thinking? I mean, I know Joker and Piranha Plant's not part of it. Who do we think the other 4 are going to be?
Sora has a much bigger chance than I thought he did.
I'm betting that all 4 of the remaining ones are going to be third party. Because what Nintendo characters are left to put in Smash Bros?
Yeah, I mean that's true. I think I could see them doing something in more Nintendo, but I think more than likely, because Sakurai has come out and said like we're never doing like manga, so Goku's out of the question. Which probably equals we're never doing like famous movie franchises or something like that.
Yeah, like
So,
we're not going to see like the Terminator.
Yeah,
that's
or James Bond.
That's more of a Mortal Kombat thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Phoenix Wright, I really want Phoenix Wright. I don't know if he has a chance. I could see.
Yeah, if it's not a video game character, it's not popping up anymore.
Yeah.
Or like Corbin.
Master Chief.
You're not going to see Batman in here.
I could see Master Chief
Maybe.
making it.
I think Crash Bandicoot has a really good
Oh,
chance.
Yeah,
Crash.
Crash. I was a little surprised that the Crash being in the costume.
The other. That was very reminiscent of like the old PlayStation.
Yeah, that's
Blood
what they were
Yeah.
trying to go for. But I was a little surprised that they didn't just do Crash.
We didn't mention that the Crash Team Racing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're remastering Crash Team Racing, which is cool. Keep doing it.
The Insane trilogy did well, so I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. I
Maybe
think
they'll make a new Crash game at some point.
Crash will probably show up in. I mean, because Crash belongs to Activision now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
So Activision will probably play nice. Let them
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2 is just going to be Smash Brothers.
Oh, wow.
basically, yeah. Then again, All Stars Battle Royale didn't really have a great lineup to begin with.
Yeah.
It had Sweet Tooth, Nathan Drake, Cole McGrath, and Parappa the Rappa.
Third parties.
Yeah, I think Crash is probably a go. Maybe Master Chief.
Yeah, they're not going to do another Sonic character. Tekken. So I think there's a good shot that because Bandai Namco doesn't have a rep
Pac-Man.
except for Pac-Man, but Pac-Man is like one of the classic reps.
Yeah.
Is like he's sort of treated like that instead of like he's a Bandai character.
He's like an iconic classic.
Yeah, he's more like a Donkey Kong or a Mr. Game & Watch. So I could see somebody from the Tales of series, like Lloyd Irving or somebody more iconic than that.
Then you get Banjo-Kazooie.
Maybe Mach Rider. I want Mach Rider.
Captain Toad. Maybe. I don't know.
I would be
The Battletoads. We get the Battletoads.
Battletoads has a very good chance.
Hey, they were in Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
They have a surprisingly high chance.
Yeah.
There's not much else I can think of. I think the only one that I'm like,
Dude, they have to get, like... The Legend or Zelda.
Oh,
Zelda,
you know-
or like
Isn't
what-
Zelda already?
Yeah,
in it?
Zelda's
wait.
already in it.
Zelda was okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Zelda's a Nintendo franchise.
Oh, that's right.
They have like 5, like I think 6 Zelda characters. In
Oh, that's
Smash
right.
Bros.
Like Sheik, Zelda, Link, Toon Link,
Oh, yeah, I
or
forgot.
Young, so there's Link, Young Link, and Toon Link. Sheik, Zelda, and Ganondorf.
Yeah, so yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Spyro.
Is Toon
Spyro
wait?
gets
Toon, I
a
didn't
chance.
think was Toon Link in there. In it?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
He's in Ultimate.
Wow. Oh, he's an Ultimate. That's right. He's not.
He
wasn't in the one.
well,
before,
so Toon Link was in Brawl and 4.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Young Link was in Melee, so they brought him back for Ultimate.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now. That's what I was. Okay.
Oh, you know what? You know what they're gonna do for DLC? They're gonna have one of the new Pokemon from the new core RPG.
Probably. Maybe Alex Kidd from the old Sega games. Then again, they've already got a lot of Sega characters in there already.
No, there's only one.
Bayonetta's
Sonic's
Sega.
How many times do I have to keep reiterating
Okay,
this?
Bayonetta is
She's basically a Nintendo
She's
character.
basically
at this
Nintendo,
point.
but I still consider it partially Sega.
In any case, it's only Sonic and Bayonetta.
Yeah, so.
So like, and Capcom has 2 right now, and again, Bayonetta's practically Nintendo. So
Yeah, what studios are we thinking are not going to be
in Smash,
would never go into Smash? I don't expect anything Sony ever to pop up. The only reason I say Crash is because Activision's got it
Activision.
now.
you know, I'm kind of tempted to think that because it's Activision,
Yeah.
no Crash.
Kojima, maybe.
Kojima doesn't own his own stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
Castlevania is already in the game.
Oh, and the Snake's in the game now.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
Snake
I
is
forgot
in.
about that. I keep forgetting about it.
Snake is in, which Sakurai probably had to call on every favor he had at Konami
Oh,
to do that.
okay. Snake
Um,
being in this game is a miracle,
yeah.
especially with the way Konami's acting right now.
Yeah. The only reason I could see Sora not being in this game is because Square Enix only let them have 2 songs for Cloud in Ultimate, which is weird. I don't know why they didn't have
Yeah.
more of a fanfare for that. And there aren't any, like, you know, the Spirits mode?
Yeah.
No Square Enix. So, yeah. In any case, well, actually, Joker is a Sega character because Sega owns Atlas.
Oh, there's that.
So,
You're not going to get any. I think, honestly, with how much of a pal Nintendo's been to Microsoft recently, I wouldn't be surprised if Master Chief pops up.
Master
Oh,
Chief, you know, if Parappa the Rapper is in the game, why not? I don't even know what Parappa the Rapper is.
It's a PS1 game. Like, it's an
Oh, I thought that
old-
was a Microsoft game.
No, it's an old PS1.
Oh.
Oh, you know they should add a what's it called? How do you say it?
Waluigi?
Waluigi. Yeah.
The internet would go insane if Waluigi popped up.
Waluigi actually was in this
Yeah,
game.
they should have him.
I think
That would be so funny to just
I think of the only, like, serious, like, video game characters to pop up, the only one who has a chance is Master Chief. Like, you're not gonna see Lara Croft, I don't think.
Although
I don't
Maybe,
think Lara
I
Croft-
think there's a
Yeah, I
shot
can
that a
see.
character from Tekken shows
Oh.
up.
Tekken's not exactly that serious, though. I mean, is it? I haven't really played Tekken. so-
Oh, you're talking about dark
I'm talking about, like, in terms of, like,
storytelling.
tone.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, like, Metal Gear is, like, it's darker, but it's also got a lot of goofiness to it.
Yeah,
Which is, like, I can see why they did that. Castlevania, kind of the same.
yeah.
Um,
Well, Castlevania is gaming. I think the thing with Smash is that it has evolved into not just like child-friendly Nintendo, but into
iconic video game.
into
brand.
iconic video games. So, Tomb Raider makes sense. That's why I think Kingdom Hearts makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get my hopes
like
up
to
for
see
Sora and Smash.
So,
Um,
what other appearances do we get of Snake in this game? Because I was going to say, because apparently there was, now I haven't played Brawl in a long time, but I remember there being, when Brawl came out, it was only like 2 years before Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and they had like an exclusive appearance of what Snake was going to look like in 4, I believe. So do you think maybe we get a DLC of what the Metal Gear Solid 5 appearances in this game?
But,
Even though it's not technically
Yeah.
Solid Snake, it's Big Boss, but that's a whole...
I don't. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean Konami being so stingy.
Dude, they have.
Yeah, it's a miracle that Snake is in the game.
I don't think they'd have any.
I think people who are clamoring for that sort of thing, like, not saying that you are, but I think I think Sakurai is very much in never ask me for anything ever again.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't think he. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, whatever the next Smash game is on whatever the next console is, it's not gonna have Snake.
He's talked about downsizing the roster for the next one, so it's interesting.
I don't think they'd add any Marvel characters at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
I want Sakurai to take a break from Smash and go make another Kid Icarus game. Because Kid Icarus Uprising was great.
Mm-hmm.
That game was awesome. So I think he should do that.
Is there what's the other? There was one other like Nintendo franchise I can't remember. Is there? Shoot. Was that a classic NES game?
Balloon Fight.
Sure, throw somebody in from that. No, is the dog
It's a
from
stage already, though.
Is the dog from Duck Hunt in the
Yep.
game?
Oh yeah.
Every character that has
Duck
been
and-
a
yeah.
character in Smash Bros. Is in.
Well, I didn't know he was another character.
Oh yeah, he
There
was
are
in 4.
so many characters.
Duck
Yeah.
Hunt is funny.
The dog and the duck from Duck Hunt
Yeah.
are a character,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
And you could fly. You could flap your wings. And
Yep,
fly a little
it's
bit.
it's legitimately one of the Wii Fit trainers in the game.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, you know, they should have like one of the characters from Wii Music.
Yeah.
If there was a character from Wii Music, I don't know.
Isn't it just your me in Wii Music?
Yeah, which is disappointing because they already have Mii fighters. So,
Dude, some Fire Emblem characters maybe.
Yeah.
there are plenty of Fire Emblem characters already. Like I have a hard time thinking of what Fire Emblem character that they do.
Yeah.
Most
That's what I'm
also
calling right
because
now. Crash. I'm calling right now.
Crash.
Crash pops up.
Oh, for sure. Crash.
I'm gonna. Okay, sure. Crash pops up. Don't be disappointed if you're wrong.
I don't really care either way. I
Wait,
Um,
Star Fox is in the game, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Star Fox.
That's why I said pretty much if it's a Nintendo character, you can bet they're probably already in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, for,
If it's a Nintendo character you can think of, they're probably already in the game.
Yeah.
Screw it, the guy from Eternal Darkness. That old Nintendo game.
I'm trying to think of.
You know, I'm also surprised because Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, the remake of the original one, was a GameCube exclusive, so that's probably kind of why I'm thinking
Yeah.
Snake's in here.
Yeah.
Why don't they go ahead and throw in like Chris Redfield because they did a remake of Resident Evil for the
Oh
GameCube.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Throw Chris Redfield in there.
Yeah. Or Leon. One of those two.
Leon wasn't on GameCube.
The character.
Was there Resident Evil 4 on GameCube?
You're right.
That's
it was.
the one. That's the one with. That's the
Dude,
one
they
with
should-
Leon.
they should
in.
throw it- they should
I was
throw
thinking
it-
of the original game.
In any case, whether or not it has been on a Nintendo console
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter at this point because Cloud was in Smash 4 before they announced that Final Fantasy 7 was coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And if Master Chief gets in here, then it doesn't.
Yeah, then it doesn't. Then it doesn't
They
matter.
should throw in like
And-
a Tetris cube in there or something.
No. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be okay with that.
Really, just. But he would be the most OP character on the.
Basically, I'm okay with whatever
Oh.
Sakurai does because the man is wacky. So who cares?
No.
Dude,
That's
is
my
it Mega Man?
Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac. I'm
Pac-Man.
calling Miss Pac.
Is Mega Man? Mega Man's in
Yep,
it.
Mega Man's in the game.
Yeah. So
No new Mega Man reps, which is sad. But who do you have? They already have zeros and this.
well,
is
we already know the internet's predictions. They want Waluigi and Goku, and you're not going to get either of those.
Yeah. People are saying, yeah. Don't take people who say that seriously.
No, I don't.
Like
I don't take
any-
anything on the internet seriously.
Yeah,
Some Assassin's Creed characters, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, Ubisoft been playing real nice recently with
it's
Nintendo.
just it's just like everything in my brain tells me that characters like Sora and Master Chief don't have a chance, but Joker being in the game throws everything off.
Yeah. That's
also,
insane. That's insane.
It's crazy.
I am legitimately surprised the Rabbids, like the Rayman Rabbids,
Oh, aren't-
are not in the game.
They're in the game.
They are already?
No, but they're gonna be DLC.
No, yeah. Like, do you think Rayman, like the character Rayman, or just
Not
the
Rayman,
Rabbids?
but probably just rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes too much sense. It makes a lot of sense that like development started on Smash Ultimate before Mario plus Rabbids, and then Nintendo was like, hey, you're going to put Rabbids in the game. Because Nintendo is the one that decided the DLC roster, not Sakurai.
Yeah.
So Nintendo was probably like, yeah, Rabbids, do it.
Yeah, Rabbids is, I think, almost a guarantee.
I'm surprised that it's not in the game yet, honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised you said the development stuff, but they probably...
Castlevania is the third-party rep this time around.
Yeah.
Aside from all of the other third-party reps. Like, they're the new third-party rep.
Mm.
Like, Ken is sort of a new third-party rep, but he's a clone of Ryu, so...
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess that transitions into... well, I mentioned Snake. I want to talk about... So, I figured for homework, if we're going into homework, the first thing to mention is Metal Gear.
Is the Metal Gear series. If
Okay.
you have a PS4, go play the Metal Gear series.
Well, PS3 preferably, because...
Oh, PS3.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, I'll go ahead and explain that here first for the listeners and for you guys here. So,
Yeah.
Metal Gear. It is probably the greatest narrative in the history of video games.
I have a game that I'm going to talk about
It is
later.
the greatest narrative.
I have a game that I'm going to talk about later that probably does better things with video game storytelling. Because probably Metal Gear, I'm just going to guess, Metal Gear is probably more of like a cinematic storytelling thing, right?
For the most part. With some
I'm
exceptions.
gonna say that the game I'm gonna talk about later is the best video game narrative that isn't just straight up aping cinematic storytelling. So, anyways,
So Metal Gear, the best way to play the series, well, I guess really the only way to play the true full breadth of the series is on a PS3. They in I believe it was 2015, or no, maybe it was 2013. I don't know. Sometime in the late lifespan of the PS3, they released the Legacy Collection, which was basically the 25th anniversary of the entire series. They packaged together every game that was out at the time, so minus Metal Gear Solid 5, and bundled it together. It was essentially just a copy of the HD Collection 4 and a DLC code for the original, all bundled together. So really, all of the content you can buy separately. It's just cheapest to buy. It's like $25 for everything together, with the exception of 5 and then the spin-off Rising Revengeance.
Oh, yeah.
So have you guys ever played any of the Metal Gear games?
nope.
I've seen a lot of gameplay, and I've played a little bit, like very, very little of
Not I.
I will not lie and say the gameplay of the original ones still necessarily holds up. Some of the controls, especially in 2 and 3, don't really seem to make a whole lot of sense. It's like for shooting, you gotta hold down R1, hold down L1, and then tap R2 or something like that. It's like the controls are a little weird, but the best part of the story is really the voice acting, and the story is the best part of the game. Because the story is wacky. Like, it starts off as this like covert espionage, kind of like Pierce Brosnan era James Bond storyline.
Yeah.
And then it just gets to some wacky, weird, supernatural, sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
And
Yep.
The first game, despite the graphics being really dated, is probably still has some of the most emotional moments I've played in a video game.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't for spoilers. I don't want to say anything specific, but I'm just going to say the scene in the snow is
Okay.
one of the most
Scene in the
emotions
snow.
in the first game. The scene in the field in the third game.
I think I've actually seen that scene.
The one from the third game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the
iconic.
remastered one. The remastered.
remastered
That's the
for the
one. That's one
Pachinko.
that they remastered, right?
Wait, for the pachinko machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were watching
Yeah.
the trailer and I saw that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you've seen that one. That and then the only other iconic sad scene I can think of. Probably. Oh, the entirety of Metal Gear Solid 4. Just the entire game. Yeah.
I hear 4 is really good.
4 is really good. That being said, it is a lot of cutscenes. Like, the final epilogue cutscene is an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah. The
Wow.
final, like, when you wrap up the entire game, there is a hour and 20 minute cutscene called epilogue that wraps up any remaining loose ends.
How many hours of cutscenes does Metal Gear 4 have?
It's probably got at least probably of cutscenes in total, not counting gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably 3 hours.
3 hours?
Maybe more than that.
Okay. Because I was gonna say Kingdom Hearts 2 has 14 hours of cutscenes.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm thinking of just the epilogue scene because I'm thinking of okay. So,
Yeah, in terms of cuts, all of the cutscenes.
Oh, so
in
you don't
Metal
just
Gear
mean that?
Solid
Okay.
4.
Okay. All the cutscenes of Metal Gear Solid were probably at least 30 hours
Of cutscenes.
of cutscenes. Yeah.
Just not game.
This is just a random guess I'm throwing out, but probably around 30.
Wow.
Because every time you finish a mission,
Wow.
there's what feels like you're watching a television episode in between gameplay.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, it's basically this game.
Is it worth it?
Oh, it is worth it. The fourth game is essentially the payoff to the entire storyline. Well, there still is a Metal Gear Solid 5 and Peace Walker that came out after that.
Those are prequels,
They
right?
both take place before this. So really the farthest game in the timeline, with the exception of a spin-off featuring another character.
Rising Revengeance.
Yeah.
The Platinum.
Which, Rising Revengeance is fun, but
It's not Metal Gear.
It's not the true Metal Gear experience. It's a fun game, and if you want to see what happens to Raiden, it's a very goofy portrayal, but it's fun. That being said, the core saga, it ends with 4. It is a great payoff. It's sad. It's heroic. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played. But if you don't like the story or the characters, you're not going to care about 4. You're not going to Metal Gear for gameplay. I'm just going to say that. The gameplay, it's good in 5, but that's the complete departure. 4 has so many cutscenes and story moments. As people who just picked up the game because they thought it looked cool were disappointed by the lack of gameplay. And then you get to Metal Gear Solid 5, which is majority gameplay with very little cutscenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just completely...
Yeah. When was 5?
5 was 2015, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, there was
Well,
5...
there's a big gap.
And it
'cause
got,
some- 'cause 4
it
came
got
out-
a million 10 out of 10s.
Well, there was 5 Ground Zeroes came out in 2014, and then 5 Phantom Pain.
Oh.
So, really, to explain
it
that...
got a lot of Game of the Year nominations, I believe.
The reason why they split, I don't know the exact reason, but they split Metal Gear Solid 5 into 2 parts.
Yeah.
There was Ground Zeroes, which was just a 90-minute prologue
Yeah.
to the Phantom Pain, which is the substantial 45-hour gameplay.
Oh wow.
It's open world, unlike the other ones. But instead of buying 2 different packages, you can buy Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive collection,
Yeah.
and it's just got both games on the same disc.
Oh wow.
So that's the way I would go with.
Yeah.
Even though Ground Zeroes, you're like, oh, it's only 90 minutes. Why do I need to play this? Trust me, if you skip out on it, you're going to be very confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with the series. You really can't skip one because they're all integral to the plot. That being said, I would probably play it in release order and not chronological order.
So
What's the release order?
So the release order is, well, 1...
Don't count the old
Not the old 8-bit games?
Yeah.
That should also purpose that. The old 8-bit games, just read the plot synopsis stuff when you get to the point. Don't bother going back and playing them unless you're a hardcore fan like me, because they're very dated. Very dated. Also, they don't really matter a whole lot. So there's Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker, 5 was the release. And that's not counting the Acid games, which were just card games for the PSP.
Metal
So
Gear
the-
Solid
the-
1 came out in
the-
1999.
96. I believe. 97 or 96, something like that. The first one.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Peace Walker,
And then 5.
and then 5.
Yeah, and that's...
Can I play 4 and then skip Peace Walker?
To go to 5?
No, just no. Can I play 1 through 4 and then stop? Will it be like a complete experience if I do that?
You could. That being said, 3... So, 1, 2, 4 is a complete timeline. 3 is the earliest game of the timeline.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
really,
the first one with Big Boss then?
Yes.
Okay.
So, if you want to experience just Solid Snake's story, 1, 2, 4. That's
Will
it.
Will the payoff in 4 be effective
No.
if I don't play 3?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, what I would do is kind of do my own kind of machete order, as they did with the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I would do 1, 2, 3,
Rogue One.
well,
Rogue
Peace
One.
Walker 5, and then 4.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
That way, 4 is your definitive conclusion.
Oh.
That being said, there would be one audio cassette tape that you can pick up in 5 that spoils part of 4 that I would say just don't listen to that. There's one tiny audio dialogue thing in 5.
If I'm ever playing through the series,
So, actually,
don't.
scrap what I said, just do Or, yeah. Just don't actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, don't play 5 before 4.
Audio.
No, you want to pick up the cassettes because they give you a story background.
Play MGS 5.
I'll just come back to this podcast for this.
Yeah.
Sire
Disagree.
2018.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong.
Don't play MGS 5 Sire 2018. I have
fake news.
I have it down. I have it in print.
Well,
As in really bad handwriting.
yeah, I would say if you can get past bad graphics, go for it. The fifth one looks amazing.
Yeah.
The first one though, gameplay wise, is dated, but the voice acting still is fantastic.
Metal Gear.
Colonel.
That's Mario.
And if you can't get past the graphics, there was a GameCube remake of the original game called Twin Snakes.
Oh.
It's the game came out around the time of like the Matrix sequels, so all the cutscenes are like a lot of slow-mo flipping and stuff like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is
it a good remake?
I haven't played the remake. I've just watched some of the game, like the cutscenes online. But I haven't played it.
Is it?
I've heard it's good.
Up? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play that then.
Do
Do you know if it spoils the does the remake of 1 spoil things in the series?
no, it is a direct remake of the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything like that.
Cool.
Also, wait until the credits for every single game. Because there's like a little odd, like they don't show anything necessarily, it's just like a little dialogue blurb that sets up the next one.
Oh, wow.
Like, without saying anything, there's just at the end of the first one, Mr. President. I'm like, like, it's not gonna make any sense now when you play the game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I know.
Oh my god.
Mr. President.
Or, it's a lot. Or something like that. Or it's going like, yeah, I can't rave about this series enough. It's my first game is my favorite game of all time.
Man.
Honestly, I think for the Legacy Collection alone, well, just the series alone, it's worth picking up a PS3 for. Because you can get one that's $100 now for a PS3.
I think so, yeah.
And that's
worth the $100.
Yeah, it's worth it because you've got, okay, let's count here. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, and then let's go ahead and throw Rising Revengeance in there too. So that's 8 games you've got.
You can play on PS3.
You can play on PS3. Yeah, you can play 5 on PS3. It's harder to track down because it was mainly a PS4 release, but you can get it on PS3.
Okay.
Also, the one last thing I should mention. Don't bother with the old PSP games called Acid 1 and 2. They were just spin-off non-canon card games. There was one PSP game. So Peace Walker was originally a PSP game, and then it got remastered and ported to PS3 and 360. The PSP game Portable Ops it's like pseudo-canon.
Okay.
So Kojima, I believe, he
worked on it.
He wrote it, or maybe he produced it or something, but he did not direct it. He directed all the others. Being said, the controls are unbearable on PSP.
Okay.
So
Also,
just watch the cutscenes.
Also,
Yes.
should just mention, don't play Metal Gear Survive.
No, Metal Gear Survive is a travesty.
So
Yeah.
don't play it.
It is everything wrong with the gaming industry.
Go watch the Honest trailer.
Yes.
If you want my thoughts.
It's not the true Metal Gear. Now there's a whole. I don't want to get into it now because we don't really have the time. But there's a whole storyline behind the whole state of Metal Gear currently, which is
I think
he's
he's told the story on the podcast
Yeah.
before. So
It's a really sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid. Just pick up the Legacy Collection for PS3. It's got everything you need in there, minus the 5th game.
okay. So I'm going
Just
to
looking at some of these Metal Gear Survive images.
Metal Gear Survive just makes me sad.
Oh my
like,
God.
it's just.
Is it a zombie game?
It's
it's a Metal Gear game that is also a zombie
that takes
game.
place in an alternate dimension.
Yep.
It is not Metal Gear in the slightest. There's also no characters in the game.
To be fair, alternate dimension sounds very Metal Gear.
Oh, that's Metal Gear, but just the fact that it's a 4-person co-op online zombie shooter is not Metal Gear.
That's
Metal Gear has
not-
always been a single-player stealth game.
Everything after the alternate dimension part is
Yeah.
not Metal Gear.
4-player online co-op zombie survival shooter. That's not
Metal-
even.
It doesn't
Metal
sound
Gear.
like it's Metal Gear.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's not.
It's not Metal Gear. They just
So if
Also-
this is a spoiler, just don't tell me. Is is there like a thing in the Metal Gear series that is a Metal Gear?
Yes.
That isn't. Is it literally just a Metal Gear?
No.
Okay. So
I can honestly tell you what these are without spoilers.
Okay. What?
Metal Gears are basically just giant mecha tank things. They're walking battle tanks.
Oh, I think I've seen those
They
actually.
basically just walk around, like in Smash when you're on the Shadow Moses stage.
Oh,
that
that's
robot
a-
that busts through the
that's
wall
a Metal Gear?
is a Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's now there's not like they're like mass produced. There's Metal Gear Rex, Metal Gear Ray, and the Shagohod. That's really all I can say. But Rex is iconic. Ray is massive, and there's so many times where it's like Snake will just go Metal Gear. Like that. Like,
That's the iconic thing, right?
Yeah.
When Snake just goes Metal
And
Gear.
now I didn't ever really think about this until the Honest trailer brought it up. The first game, and to an extent all the other games, Snake always repeats the last thing that the character speaking to him said with a question mark. So it'll go like, a Russian gunship. It's like you're on a Russian military base and you're surprised to see a Russian gunship. like that's they're really corny and but they're really great. And the first one, there's so many. Well, not even just in the first ones. There are so many great fourth wall breaks in this game. Like I can say this one because it's an iconic video game moment. When you're fighting Psycho Mantis in the first game.
Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, one of the greatest boss battles in the history of video games.
That's the first one, right?
In the first game.
in the
Yeah.
first one.
So, when you're playing it on PS3, you don't really get the same effect that it had on PS1 when it came out. But basically, Psycho Mantis is a character that can read your mind.
Yeah.
So, every time you try to press a button to try and take him out, he'll always dodge you or throw back at you. You can't beat him.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, I know how to beat this because something flickers on the screen. If you unplug your controller and plug it into controller port 2, he can no longer read your mind.
What? Is that how you beat him?
That's how you beat him. You plug the
amazing.
controller into the other port.
That's
That on the PS1. That's how you beat
So
him.
that's on the PS. So
I've heard that. I've heard
So
that.
how long
That's
is
it
that
is
gonna-
amazing.
Is that going to age well then? If you get
on PS3 when you play it, if you like hold down the PlayStation button in the settings menu, you can change in there.
you can do it. That
You can
is
change it back.
legitimately.
Yeah.
That's really clever.
And right before that, there's also a where he's like, I can read your mind, and he reads your memory card and says, I see you like Castlevania.
Oh
Just
my
that.
god! Wow.
Like it only does that for Konami games.
Oh.
Like it only state the name of a Konami game if you had it on there. But like,
That's
I
funny.
see you
if
like
you don't-
Spider-Man.
if you don't have a Konami game on there, he goes, your memory is completely clean. But like, if you had Castlevania on there, he'd be like, I see you like Castlevania.
Oh.
And he's like, now set down your controller, I will move it with my mind. And then the rumble function happens.
Oh, wow.
This is perfect.
That's
so
really
clever.
clever.
Like, I can just see it blowing so many minds back in 97 when this came
Yeah.
out. And that's just one of the boss battles. There are so many iconic ones. And there's even like...
That's 97. That's insane that they were.
Now, I can say the first game is probably the most normal of the series. The second game is one complete just, mind F, I will say. It is, I still am trying to figure out what the heck happened in Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, I'm
Is that
sitting here...
another PS1 game?
No, it's PS2.
Okay.
It was actually, I believe, a launch title maybe on the PS2.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was a launch. It was early PS2. I
Man,
remember that.
I'm sad about the state of Metal Gear.
Like Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of those games where like people are still trying to decipher what it means today. Like it's
Wow.
the ending of that game. I was like laying there playing this game, and I'm just sitting there with like this confused look on my face, like I don't know what's happening, but I like it. Like, it's just, the third game is a prequel. I was like after the cliffhanger of 2, I wanted to see what happens, but 3 is actually probably the best game in the series.
Oh, wow.
4 is a great payoff. 2 is just screws with your mind. 1's a great action game. Peace Walker is weirdly very Japanese, even more than the other ones. And the 5th one is just sad. But the 3rd one is just legitimately probably the best game in the series.
Okay.
It's kind of a James Bond emulation.
3 is another PS2 game, right?
Yeah. So 1 was PS1, 2 and 3 were PS2, Peace Walker was PSP, 4 was PS3, and 5 was PS3 and 4 launched at the same time.
Wow.
You can get them all on PS3, and if you have PlayStation Now on PS4, I believe you can stream the HD collection and the 4th game, and you can get the 5th one on disc.
Yeah.
But you cannot play the original one on PS4, unfortunately. which is sad considering without that you're missing the best game in the series, and it's not probably ever going to get re-released because Konami is terrible. Yeah.
But if you have a PS2 or a
Yeah, and PS3s can play discs of PS1 games. So if you bought a used version,
That's right, I forgot about that.
So if you buy a used version of the Legacy Collection, and you're like, oh, I should clarify that too. If you buy the Legacy Collection, which is the collection that has everything except for 5 in it, the first game is not on a disc. You need a DLC code. So if you buy it used, you're still going to have to get the first game separately, but everything else is included.
Hopefully PS5 has backwards compatibility.
I hope so, because like I said, if this worked on my PS4, I'd be I still have my PS3. I just don't want to hook it up again. If it was on PS4, I'd be playing this game over and over and over. It is this series is the best thing I've ever played, and I've played a lot of games.
Wow.
Worth buying a used PS3 for.
So we're gonna. I'm just gonna take the reins here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. It's free form episode here.
So I finished Nier Automata.
Good.
Really good. I was crying during the final credits. Which
The final credits.
Yes, because
No, whoa,
there
what?
are 26. There are 26 endings.
What?
21 of them are joke endings that you can just sort of get while you're playing.
Oh, okay.
The final ending, and then the final choice that you make. I'm not going to spoil it because I know you want to play it, Sire.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it eventually.
I
I got such a back.
I think you should literally. I think you should play it over winter break.
That's already a big back catalog.
Yeah.
I gotta get through.
I think you should. I think you should put it at the top of your list.
Over Kingdom Hearts.
You have to
Yes.
finish. You have to finish.
Over Kingdom Hearts 2,
Right.
which is really hard, a really hard thing for me to say.
I will play Nier Automata over break if you play Metal Gear Solid 1 over break.
Ooh.
I don't have a PS3.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to say. You have to.
Do you have a PS2?
I do actually.
You can play it on PS2.
Does Twin Snakes count?
Okay, I'll count Twin Snakes. It's a remake of the first game. It's
Okay.
the same story. I'll count it.
Oh,
I'll allow it. I will.
Can I? Isn't there like a GameCube release of that?
Of the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twin Snakes is the remake of the first game. It's the same.
It's on GameCube,
Yeah.
right?
It was a GameCube exclusive.
Yeah.
It's never been ported.
Oh, it was a GameCube.
Is it still?
I have.
on?
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
However,
I'm gonna play Twin
2
Snakes.
2 might be on GameCube, but I know 3 isn't. No, 2 is on Xbox, not GameCube. 2 is Xbox and PS2.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
I will play because I have a Wii.
No,
Six
good luck,
bucks.
$7 on eBay.
Twin Snakes?
Yeah.
I was going to say good luck finding a cheap copy because they're not cheap.
Oh, I mean, this is eBay. I don't know.
Is that in just the disc only or in the case?
Well, let's see here.
Look at Amazon. Amazon is where I would buy them.
I mean,
Regardless, yeah. It's
So
not cheap.
I'll tell you this: if you play Nier Automata, and then you let me know that you played Nier Automata, it's not a terribly long game.
Is it expensive?
I think it might be on sale at GameStop right now.
Yeah.
It's like
And
Yeah,
do you
there's-
need to have played the other games to get it?
no.
this one's.
Does it have any connection at all?
It has connections, but it's like people have told me best. Like it's just like Easter eggs.
Okay.
And it's Easter eggs and like there's I think probably you will have gotten more out of Nier Automata if you've played the other games.
Yeah.
But I was crying at the end of this one.
That's what I want to go back and play the entire series.
Like the Draken Guard.
Like Dragon Guard
Nier.
and Nier 1.
But those games I hear are not good.
So this
Still,
this is new, $171.
Oh yeah.
For
Well,
Metal-
that's all because it's a
Metal
retro
Gear.
game. You buy retro games new, they're gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah. I'll look, and if I can find a
The cheap
relatively
one is-
inexpensive
this one's
copy.
$50.
Is it not on the the eShop shut down? That's right.
This is on DK Oldies. I don't know if you.
Oh, they're a pretty good site.
Look at GameStop's website for me.
Yeah, at GameStop probably it's not going to be in a case. It's probably just going to be disc only.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Do you have the case with it?
Yeah, well, that's the
Oh,
case.
So, the last choice that you have to make in Nier Automata is one of the most heart-wrenching decisions.
Mm.
And it's like, I sat there. it's not so when you're playing the game through, it's not the choice that you think I'm talking about while you're playing the game. It's the very, very, very last choice. And so the last choice sat there. It's because it's a really heart-wrenching decision from a practical perspective and an emotional perspective.
Okay.
And so I was like, I just sat there and I seriously considered saying no. But I said yes. And yeah, I can't really say more than that.
Like I'm saying, just wait until you play Metal Gear. If you're crying at that game, just wait until you play Metal Gear.
But it's
man.
but the characters are all really well written. 2B, 9S, and A2 are all really well defined characters. It has one of my favorite opening credit sequences in video games because of the fact that it happens in the middle of the game.
It's great.
Which is amazing because what happens is you play one playthrough as one character and you play the same storyline, the same like A to B plot as the second character.
Yeah.
But like there are branches, and so like in the second playthrough you learn a lot more about like the world. And then the third playthrough is a completely different game, or not a game, not a completely different game, but like it's a whole different storyline. Like it's the conclusion of the storyline, and it's really good. The third playthrough goes off of the rails just in terms of like the storyline goes from weird to weirder.
I like weird games.
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, and then what else is there? Like the action is really good. There are hacking mini games that while they feel at first a bit jarring, they actually start to feel like part of the world.
Yeah, I've looked a lot into this game after you mentioned it off air.
Yeah.
When you're talking about it. I've looked into it a lot, and I'm definitely going to check it out.
And Platinum has a pedigree in awesome games.
Yeah, that's
so.
the connection between the two of ours. There's a Platinum Metal Gear
Is
game
there-
as well.
Yeah, and this is a Platinum version or a new Platinum game in an existing series as well. So It's like I like how Platinum is just like handed games.
It pretty much just throws out the timeline of the previous games. Like they don't even. They won't even
Nier Automata has probably more references to the original one than Rising Revengeance.
Rising Revengeance just mentions Solid Snake once. Not even by name, just by like reference. It's not even really a.
Yeah.
And they mentioned like, oh, after the Patriots. I'm like, oh, after. Can't say for spoilers. Can't say for spoilers. Can't say for spoilers. The Patriots. That's like. I'm still like emotionally distraught, and it's also a very existential game. Like it will make you question the meaning of life. Ditto for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
all I can say.
I love how you're just like Metal Gear Solid.
See, like,
it'll one up it.
Like I sound crazy now, but once you play, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm sure I will. This is what I've been saying about Kingdom Hearts. So
yeah. That being said, I also forgot to mention before I forget in the remake of the first game when you play Twin Snakes, they keep the exact same level design. The problem they realize is Twin Snakes takes the story and level design of the first game, but puts in the control set of Metal Gear Solid 2. So when you shoot, you can go first person when you shoot. That being said, because there was no first person shooting in the first game, some of the level design becomes a lot more easier now that you can shoot.
How much disturbing stuff is in the first game?
I don't really think anything. There's One, well, air quotes, torture sequence, which is just you hook up to some like Total Recall chair and getting zapped with electricity, going. It's not.
That sounds goofy.
So it's not, and the sequence though, you don't really pay attention to it because it is one of the hardest things to beat. Like now, I haven't played it on GameCube, but on the PS1 version, you have to mash the circle button so fast that I couldn't even do it physically with my thumb. I had to get a spoon and just like rattle it back and forth to get the thing. It is ridiculously hard.
Wow.
Every time I go back and do a playthrough, I'm always like, why did I do this to myself? Because it's so hard to do. Also, the first game.
This is gonna be a Metal Gear.
Yeah, this is gonna be Metal Gear. Yeah, okay, I'm obsessed. I know. The first game, there's basically a choice that can happen. Well,
Yeah.
if you give in to the torture, you're gonna get the bad ending. Do not give in to the torture, or else you're gonna get a really crappy ending. You have to get past it to get the good ending, or the real ending that's canon. Now, I have to ask, last bit of Metal Gear here. If you end up liking Twin Snakes, what's gonna happen since 2, 3, 4, and 5 are not on Nintendo consoles?
I have a PS4.
They're not on that either.
Yeah, gotta get a PS3 for $100.
You're getting a PS3 for $100 just because you like it that much? Or you're gonna watch the cutscenes for the others on YouTube and then go and play 5?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll get PlayStation Now. I don't know. Maybe I just
Actually,
play
that's not a
Twin
bad idea,
Snakes.
because first one on GameCube and then play the others on PlayStation Now. That's not a bad idea.
All I'm saying is
I'm saying is what?
I will only play Twin Snakes if
Nier
you
Automata.
complete Nier Automata.
Okay. I will look into it. Because I for me,
Look
I have to play
it up
everything
on
before.
GameStop's website because I think it might be on sale.
I was like, I gotta play all the ones before it. That's how my OCD works.
It's also on It's also on PC.
PMP.
It's also on PC.
Okay, cool.
Again, you literally need no context for this
Okay,
game.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
That also, Ahmad, is there a game series you're obsessed with that you want to mention? Because
I guess this is the game
No.
series obsessions.
I'm really obsessed about this game called Fortnite.
Oh, okay, you're one of those.
One of those
Yes.
guys.
What was I just thinking of?
Wait, hold on. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to get obsessed with more game franchises.
Well-
Sonic, maybe Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Do you have access to a GameCube?
No,
Do you have
I don't.
access to a
I haven't had
PS3?
access to a GameCube in a long time.
Do you have access to a PS3?
No, not a PS3, but I can always buy one. They're
Not that
cheap.
expensive. And there's a lot of great games in the PS3.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah, the PS3 has an excellent library.
so I don't know what. How do you spell Nier Automata?
NIER.
So
and
there's
then
really-
Automata.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Automata.
Yep.
There's like 2 other things I want to mention, but I rambled on from Metal Gear for a while, so I don't want to mention them yet.
It's $25 on GameStop.
Yeah.
Nier Automata.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
the
not
physical
bad.
version is $25
For PS4?
Yeah.
I think it's a PS4 PC exclusive.
Yeah, PlayStation.
Oh no, the Become as Gods edition on Xbox One just came out. I
Oh,
think, but it's probably. I think it's just the game with the DLC that released, but the DLC is like really minor. Although I want to play. I'm on my second playthrough of the game right now. Once I'm done with it, I'm gonna get the DLC so I can fight the boss of the Square Enix CEO and then the Platinum Games CEO. I think it's that I really like. After that, I really want Tetsuya Nomura to be one of the secret bosses in Kingdom Hearts 3.
What if, this is going back to another topic.
Yeah.
What if the 5th DLC fighter is Sakurai?
Is Sakurai? I'd be okay with it.
You're like,
I'd
that
be
would
okay
be
with it.
the greatest moment.
That would be
in video gaming history.
yeah. It would. I was thinking about this while I was watching somebody talking about the Square Enix CEO fight. If you think about it, authors are the true villains of their stories.
That's a good point.
Because the bad things to the characters wouldn't be happening without the author doing those things to those characters.
Good point. Look at, I guess George R.R. Martin is the true mass murderer. Then.
Yeah,
Look at
he
it.
is.
So
He is. J.K. Rowling actually has an interview where somebody asks her, what would you say to Harry Potter if you could talk to him? And she would say, I'm sorry.
Oh my
And I'm
god, you just
like,
blew my mind, Azra. So the Russo brothers are the true villains. not
Yes,
the
there's.
Russo brothers.
I mean, you saw it in the Game Awards. There were 5 nominees for Best Multiplayer, and snap. There were 10, and now there are 5. So, Kojima's the real villain in Metal Gear. That probably reframes a lot of things in your head.
I mean, that's like, I'm trying to wrap my head around that, with like just with the sheer confusion. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2 alone is going to make that so confusing.
And if all of the Kingdom Hearts fans in the audience, if you're there, if we're all being honest with each other, Nomura is the real villain of the series.
Honestly, I would say Konami's probably more the villain.
Well, no, Konami is the real life villain.
Yes.
Within the world of the story, Kojima is hands down.
Did you know Kojima's in the universe of the games?
Yeah, he has like Stan Lee cameos.
In
right?
Ground Zeroes, you can there's like a gimmick where you can Fulton extract people to go work at Mother Base for you, and one of there's like a camp you go into called Camp Omega, which is clearly meant to be Guantanamo Bay, and one of the prisoners you can extract is Kojima.
Oh wow!
And he looks at you and he looks up, and there's like this lens there, and he goes, "You've been waiting a long time." Or like, there's some like other like some cheesy quote that he said.
Yeah.
Or he's like, kept you waiting, huh? Or something like that.
You think he's gonna be in Death Stranding?
Oh yeah, he'll be in Death Stranding, for sure.
I bet
He's
him
55
and
years old.
Guillermo del Toro are gonna.
Kojima's one of the coolest guys.
Yeah, he's wacky, but he's pretty cool. He's kind of like what's his face, Miyamoto.
Miyamoto and Smash. I want that.
Yo, can all 5 DLC? Can we just cancel Joker and all 5 DLC fighters be Nintendo presidents?
If Reggie
Reggie
pops
is
up,
a fighter.
oh, that would be glorious.
You know what? It's more likely that Reggie is a fighter than Sakurai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not be
awesome.
surprised if Reggie pops up.
That would be awesome.
That Reggie.
Do you know how much of a legend Reggie is?
Reggie is a legend. I know. I've heard this before. Yeah.
My body is ready.
Your body is ready.
Well, if he popped up, or Miyamoto though, he is a true legend.
Yeah,
though.
he's the real legend. But like Reggie is the guy that everybody likes.
Miyamoto, did you see at the Ubisoft E3 when Miyamoto walked up on that stage? It was like, I can't even imagine. Like, people just roared when he walked up on stage.
Yeah. It's
Miyamoto is the father of so many childhoods right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Miyamoto is just sort of the father of video games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more like the grandfather of video games. And then Reggie is the son of video games.
Reggie is the son of video games.
Who's the Holy Spirit.
So, transitioning from games.
Yeah.
Probably should mention this because I know you guys are TV watchers. And Blade Runner fans.
Oh,
Have you
Battlestar.
Well, before we get into Battlestar, I'm not getting to that yet because I talked too much about
talk about Blade Runner.
Yeah, I was going to do Blade Runner first because I know I'm going to talk a lot about BSG, and I just talked a lot about Metal Gear. So
yeah, they're talking about a Blade Runner anime.
it's going to be 13 episodes. In the States, it's going to be aired on Adult Swim, and then it's going to be on Crunchyroll right after.
Oh wow.
It's going to be called Blade Runner Black Lotus, I believe.
Oh.
And it's going to take place in 2032, I think.
Oh.
Which is so after the first movie, but before the second one.
Yeah. So it's in between.
Yeah.
Is it?
Which the guy directing
it's
it,
Blade Runner Uprising.
Well,
No, stop.
yeah, now, I can't remember the guy's name who's either like executive producing or directing or something.
Yeah.
But he's the same guy who did that 15-minute 2022 Blackout anime that tied into the release of 2049, which was a really good. It was on the Blu-ray. It's a really good 15-minute short anime.
Oh wow.
It's really what made this show happen. Was that?
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sorry, I have to bring everything back to Tron.
No.
Oh.
It is one of the running themes on the show. Is Tron?
It came out the same year as Tron, the first one.
Yeah.
Both were 82.
The animation.
1982 was a good year for movies. 1982, yeah, E.T., The Thing, Tron, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Have you gone back and watched E.T. recently?
Wait,
Okay,
are you saying it hasn't aged well? Is that what you're saying right now?
Yes.
Based on the tone of your voice.
Mom's getting angry.
One of the first time I saw it, I was like, what the heck am I watching?
So here's the list of the 1982 movies: E.T., Blade Runner, The Thing, Poltergeist, The Dark Crystal, Creepshow. I've seen some of these are okay. First Blood. Okay, I've seen it. Gandhi. Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, was it
The Tron classic film, Rocky 3.
Oh, Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 ain't bad.
I mean, Friday the 13th Part 3. Halloween 3. Oh,
Did Dream Warriors come out? No, that wasn't. Because I mean, Mystery 1 was until '84. So
yeah. But yeah, there's Airplane 2.
The year before Return
Conan.
of the Jedi.
Oh my god, yeah, the year before. Yeah, but there's a lot of good movies.
Man, if Return of the Jedi... Oh, Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan came out in '82. Yeah.
I think so. That's right.
Probably the most iconic Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By far.
The Wrath of Khan, yeah.
Mostly because they remade it in Into Darkness.
Man, can you believe if Return of the Jedi came out in '82? 82 would have been the greatest year of all time.
Oh, it would have been. It would have.
Well, if it was Empire.
Well,
yeah.
But I wouldn't.
What would you guys say, in your opinion, greatest decade of films?
Oh, it's the 80s.
I know we're like trying
It's
to.
the 80s.
So I know we're trying
I'm
to.
gonna say the 20s because that's when film really became film.
The 1920s.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it. Okay.
Also,
that's sort of a joke answer. I don't have.
I
an
would say the
answer
90s for me. The 90s.
I'm not.
We're not staying on any topic. We don't have topics today.
I'm not storied in.
Okay, then name some 1920s films then. That you're.
No, I'm just saying. Metropolis. There are plenty of.
We're saying like you're saying for filmmaking.
I'm saying that I'm saying that
film.
filmmaking itself
as
around the time of the 20s.
Filmmaking techniques and the sort of rise of what we know to be the standard for film.
Now, lots of people would say that it's the 30s. Lots of people would say it's the 40s.
The 50s, maybe even the 50s, but I say the 90s.
Sure.
The 90s was a good era. It was like a sweet spot.
Sure.
A little sweet spot.
I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, I think, like, when I think about, like, the best, so, like, if I was thinking about, like, all right, what's the best year for books, right? I wouldn't be saying, like, for one thing, I wouldn't be saying anything recent, because I would be thinking about it in terms of like the craft of authorship and writing. Came in. That would be the year that I would consider, like, and people can disagree on whatever year that is, but whatever year that I would decide it based on it being that decade where writing as a form of storytelling came into its own and really discovered itself as a medium.
The 1450s was when that
happened. Something like that.
Oh wait,
right?
weren't there some writing?
Older than that.
There's some sort of cavemen north of
caves.
I would say like whenever paper got invented and
not papyrus, but paper.
Papyrus. Whenever papyrus got invented, that's what he really took off. That's interesting.
So the only reason I bring that up is, I would say, for movies, I would say the same thing.
Yeah, and that's right? I totally understand. I thought that was interesting because we were talking mostly pop cultural.
Yeah.
Impact.
See, I think that's sort of my thing. I think we were talking about this when we were talking about Christopher Nolan. Is when I think about what I want in a good movie, I'm not particularly concerned with like the content of the movie. Like so like for instance, Deadpool is R-rated because that's Deadpool, right? That doesn't. So that's sort of required for the story that they're trying to tell. The reason that Christopher Nolan's movies are never really R-rated is because he's not trying to tell these sort of innovative stories from a storytelling perspective. He's making an innovative motion picture. Right?
Yeah.
So like, and so he's exploring the craft of filmmaking rather than trying to convey this overarching plot. He's trying to take this pretty basic plot, because Inception, for instance, it's just a heist movie when you get down to it.
Yeah.
he's trying to figure out a way of telling that plot in a really innovative way. And so
sometimes it works better than others.
yeah, and so when I think about the craft of filmmaking, and I think about the years that filmmaking really became its own thing other than just stage plays and vaudeville and things like that, it's somewhere around the 20s and 30s, no doubt. Now, from a cultural perspective, that shifts entirely. I would probably say the year that Star Wars came out is the year that would be...
Sort of Star Wars and Jaws and those...
Yeah.
Well, I would say, like...
The sort of the blockbuster. Oh, sorry.
Like post-Vietnam, almost.
Yeah, post-Vietnam. Well, yeah. Like,
it's very hard because, like, you'll take like film history classes in like the culture of the moving image class, and your perspective really changes, especially when you take history of film, because honestly, each sort of decade in itself has its own significance. I mean,
we're forgetting like the two major, I guess, like bursts in films. We're forgetting film as much as we like it as an art form. It's an industry too.
Yeah.
So, the first of like classical Hollywood, that boom of like 40s to the 60s. Started in the boom after World War II because all that money was there.
Oh yeah, all that money.
So there's that, and then your next boom in the 70s with Star Wars and everything, Vietnam had just wrapped up.
Yeah.
So it's this post-war, hey, we have all this time now, all this money, let's go ahead and do something cool.
Yeah.
This is
I think
also...
we also have that sort of thing going on too. Because you had this sort of late sort of 2000s, sort of the Iraqi war, where there wasn't really that much going on. But now, since that's sort of over, so we're getting
arguably
somewhat arguably over. The troops are back home.
The troops are home.
You have the sort of more money being spent towards films. I mean, that's crazy. I look at the top 10 grossing films this year, and it's insane how much the industry's sort of grown. I mean, it's
I think entertainment industry in general is growing.
Oh,
you look at video games; they're growing exponentially.
People have a lot of times on them.
And what I particularly worry about with games is that with the success of games like Uncharted, Last of Us, Tomb Raider, things like that, what I worry is that they're going to stop innovating the craft of game development and just focus more on games as a medium of cinematic storytelling. We have movies for cinematic storytelling.
Yeah.
And movies are great. I love movies. But, I mean, I'm a film major. But I don't want games to give up their identity as video games.
Well, I mean, I think you could still have a cinematic game and it still, at its core, be a video game.
I think you're right, but why do people love Uncharted?
Because
is
it's fun.
Is it for the video gamey parts of Uncharted?
I would argue I really enjoyed that part. Like, I don't love Uncharted because it looks pretty.
It can be good, but it's because of these like sort of movie-esque set pieces, right?
I mean,
I do agree with you. I would. Here's the thing, but I do like seeing cinematic sort of.
Yes, I don't mind.
But that. I don't want like video games just to be.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't want it to all just be QuickTime events. I don't want that.
I don't want all video games to I don't want the standard of video games to be Uncharted.
Like seeing a game like Detroit Become Human, where it's mostly just story.
Something
cool.
Like Spider-Man. There's a lot of gameplay there in a lot of cinematic scenes.
Well,
but it's balanced.
But does it innovate on video games as a style?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, it's the best Spider-Man game. It's probably my game of the year.
Yeah.
Probably not my favorite game that I've played this year.
Game of the year, man.
But not necessarily every game has to innovate.
I don't think every game has to innovate. All I'm saying is
but
MGS, for instance, the boss fight with Psycho Mantis, right? Yeah. You can only do that in video games.
Yeah.
There aren't other mediums where you can do things like that.
No.
Right? The same with Nier Automata. Some of the stuff that they do in Nier Automata, you can't do outside of video games. Like you simply cannot do that outside of video games. the reason that I worry about video games, this is a little off track, but
we're not even we don't even have a track.
The reason that I worry about video games is I feel like I feel like with the renaissance of Uncharted and Tomb Raider and Last of Us and Detroit and all of the other games that are sort of like that, I worry that games are going to stop innovating on... Like, I worry that development studios are going to stop innovating on the craft of how you do storytelling in a video game, and focus more on, how do we emulate movies in a fun video game way?
I think
that's what I worry about.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's going to really push back against that is VR.
Yes.
I think VR is that saving grace that's going to push back from just being cinematic storytelling.
Which, I have a story. Today, I was in the campus bookstore, and they have like it's not Oculus. I think it's
No, I'm pretty sure it's an Oculus because they're on the Oculus store, I believe. It's just been dinged up so badly in that store that it doesn't look like one anymore.
So it was. So I did I did like a roller coaster thing, and I got some. I was pretty. It was not a good experience.
Yeah. Were you moving around as it was going?
Yeah, I was moving around a little bit.
Yeah, was it your first VR experience?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It was like my first real VR.
If it was your first real VR experience, they probably shouldn't have had you move at the same time.
Yeah.
It's always best to start with a seated VR experience before you move around.
Yeah, I wish there was like a place that I could have sat down and just let it happen. Yeah. But I was like standing and I was like looking around like, what's happening?
If I bring my PSVR or my Oculus Rift next semester, I'll give you a true VR experience.
Okay.
And not
a demo.
Not a demo.
Like
a true experience.
So in any case, just to get I think you're right about the VR thing though. I do worry that it'll become something, because the use for VR is not the same as the use for gaming consoles.
No.
There are a lot of different things you can do with VR. I would almost argue that VR games have the potential to become a whole different art medium from video games.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I see what you're saying, but I want, like, controller-based or mouse and keyboard. Like, I want, like, screen-based video games.
Yeah, you want people to keep innovating that.
Yeah.
I do too. I still want innovation. I want to be clear on that.
I want more Psycho Mantis fights in video games.
Yeah.
I want more, like, creative stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even Kingdom Hearts, right, is not that different of a video game. Like, I love it. It's probably my favorite gaming series of all time at this point. It's like between that and Sonic. And Sonic, even, who knows. Anyways.
Sonic's a whole other...
Yeah, but it doesn't innovate on video games. Like, it does some interesting things, but I don't think it's particularly innovative.
Yeah.
Stuff like Metal Gear Solid, you have to unplug and plug back in. Again, you can only do that in video games.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll run out of stuff that you can only do in video games eventually. But I don't know how long that's going to take. And I worry that people are going to stop trying.
Yeah.
And I worry that studios are going to stop trying too. That's sort of why I don't want Activision and EA to keep ruling the day.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. This is going to change the entire topic, but the number one thing on my list right now is Lord of the Rings to watch over break.
Yeah,
I have not seen any of them.
I've been looking. It's funny you bring that up. For the last week, I guess even more than the last week, since really Black Friday, I've been trying to find a cheap version of the extended cuts.
Yeah.
Because I have the theatrical cuts.
Yeah.
But I want to watch the extended,
cuts.
Yeah, the problem is they're always it's like $50-$60 for the Blu-ray set of just the
extended cuts.
I think they put the original the first three on on sale for like $45,
Oh.
but the Hobbit movies extended are still $60.
Oh my god.
I'm like, and I want to watch them like do all 6 like I do
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm like they have a bundle on Amazon. It's $88 for all 6 on Blu-ray.
6?
I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's
like
insane.
that's more than it is for all the first 6 Star Wars combined.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
like,
How much is the first 6 Star Wars?
I think if you buy the trilogy packs, it's about 70, I think.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 65, something like
That's
that.
still kind of worth it though. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to buy those. I have to. Also, have you guys tried?
There's so much stuff to buy.
I know.
know.
So
I
much
don't
stuff
have
to
that kind
buy
of
in a
money.
little time. Last year I watched the Star Wars series in order of how they're supposed to get watched.
like one
so
through.
1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then
And Last Jedi.
Was Solo not out yet?
Solo wasn't
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Yeah, I would have watched Solo probably before Rogue One.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah,
Rogue
you watch 3 Solo Rogue
Rogue
One
One.
because Solo sort of leads into Rogue One.
Yeah,
You know, you left out the Ewok movies, man.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
What about that holiday
Okay,
special?
the holiday special is not even really a movie. It's just
Yeah.
a variety show. It's not even just a variety.
Can we talk about Solo for a second?
Yeah, why not?
Why not at this point? We've talked about.
I want to make sure in the last 8 minutes I mentioned Battlestar. That's the one thing I want to make sure I get to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead and mention Battlestar.
Oh no, I want to talk about Solo. Go ahead. Talk
Okay. Yeah.
He
Solo.
just says yeah. And then
Bad script.
Yeah.
All right, movie. Bad script.
Movie. It felt like it was very clearly that this is the movie none of you want, but we're giving it to you anyway.
Yeah.
I
was
mean, I
very
haven't
much
seen
the
Solo,
movie.
so I have to see that.
Oh.
Even though I do hear bad things about it, I still want to hear it. Still want to see it. Just 'cause
It's
I-
on.
Is it on Netflix?
Is it?
No.
Oh, don't do that to me because you're gonna be excited. 'cause I'm
Sorry,
gonna-
I started and I was
I'm not
like,
gonna-
because the reason I started was I watched it and I didn't pay for it
Oh.
because my dad bought it. No, my dad bought
Oh,
it. And I have his
okay.
Amazon Prime account.
I
So
was
it's
gonna
like
say,
it's like
Azar, do you
I
pirate?
watched
Do you
it. I
pirate?
watched it for like a free I watched it without myself
Yeah.
paying for it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I just watched it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Nope, I watched it
Yeah.
on Amazon.
I mean, I bought the Blu-ray, so
Yeah. It's
You have the Blu-ray now?
it's,
yeah, I don't have it here though.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson, I like in everything I've seen him in.
That being said, he just plays Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
That's
but it's still good.
Yeah.
I just think it's like the script is awful, and it. Do you mind if I spoil this for you?
The really
I haven't.
You already know
Are you
this
talking about
the Darth Maul.
Well, so there's the Darth Maul
everybody's-
thing. The Darth Maul thing is cool. I'm okay with the Darth Maul thing. I think tying Han Solo to the beginning of the Resistance is the stupidest mistake anybody could ever make.
Literally, the whole beginning of 4 is I don't want to get involved with this. This
Yeah.
isn't my fight.
And then
yeah.
and then
He gets involved.
in his origin story, he literally helps spark the rebellion.
Yeah.
Like it's literally his whole the final conflict is whether or not he's gonna help the rebellion, and he does.
And there's not really a clear villain for most of the movie.
Yeah, it's
Like-
just like it's
so like,
everybody.
Paul
everybody
Bettany's
is
the villain.
double crossing each other. The
Yeah, which
entire
I guess
movie.
that was kind of the point because they're smugglers, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it makes for a really unfocused narrative.
I will say the performances are all pretty good.
Yeah, except
So
the
the
characters you don't care about.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like Han.
Which is so hard to do when you're already going into the movie caring about the characters. You don't have
Yeah.
to. It's just that's insane.
And the only characters you really care about are
Han Solo.
Han and Chewie
Right.
and his girlfriend.
Like I thought, Ehrenreich did a good job. That being said, you can't fill the shoes of Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah. Oh no.
What's
it's
his
not.
name?
Just
The
look
guy who plays Vision.
Paul Bettany.
What do you? Okay.
Paul Bettany did a really good job.
Yeah, he was
I thought he did. A
If
really
you guys, what Star Wars sort of spin-offs like backstory?
I want Kenobi right now.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
Give me a Kenobi samurai movie
Like-
where there's like some like Sith imposter or something. I
Or
just
if
need
it-
I
if it was
need
just
I need a
Titan-
Kenobi.
Like
Just
the Last
Kenobi.
Inquisitor or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like in my movie pitch project for Intro to Film, I did the Kenobi movie.
Oh, wow.
That was my thing, and I wrote it was 8 pages.
Oh
of just,
my God.
give me this right now. Lucasfilm, take it. Just
take
make
it.
this. You don't even have to
Yeah.
credit me. You don't have to pay me. Just make it.
Take it.
Here's my pitch.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I wrote that. I don't want a Yoda movie because part of Yoda's draw is the mystery surrounding him.
And I feel like we already got
That was also
that.
Solo for me too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I got everything I would want out of a Yoda movie in Clone Wars.
Don't give me a Yoda movie. Don't give me a Boba Fett movie. I don't care.
A Chewie movie.
That's basically what Solo was. Yeah.
A Jar Jar movie maybe.
Well,
Honestly,
honestly, I would be
if I get a
more
Darth
curious.
Jar Jar movie,
Yeah.
it's over. We
I-
win. It's over.
Darth
I think-
Jar Jar.
There's really more characters I can say who I don't want to spin off of than who I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than Kenobi, I don't really want a movie.
I
with
want
another
an
character.
Old Republic movie.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Honestly, I think
with Jedi
the
and Sith.
trilogy that the Game of Thrones writers are making is probably Old Republic.
Oh, wow.
That would be perfectly
It
fine.
makes sense
Yeah.
with them
Yeah.
being the
I
writers.
just want I want more Jedi.
Yeah.
Like my issue with Star Wars is that they're the
This is a
best
Star Wars
part.
special.
It's more the Metal Gear special.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
The best part of Star Wars is the lightsaber duels.
Oh yeah.
Like
So you just want
everything else in Star Wars to me is just a backdrop to the lightsaber.
So you just want 2 hours of Star Wars duels? Is that?
I mean, I
Star
won
Wars
2 hours
lightsaber?
of I won 2 hours of The Last Jedi 3 times.
The Clone Wars series has better lightsaber duels than the sequel trilogy. Change my mind.
Are you
Change my
talking?
mind.
Are you talking?
Whoa,
Are you
guys,
talking
guys,
about
guys.
that? Are you
Maybe,
talking
maybe
about
we're
that?
going a little too more into.
Are you, no, are you talking about that scene in the throne room in Last Jedi? Are you including that? Does that count to
It's
you?
not a lightsaber duel.
Okay,
I mean, like
Then
a
I'll
lightsaber
concede that
versus
to you.
lightsaber
Yeah.
duel.
I'll concede that.
Yeah, that
Okay.
scene in the throne room is great, but it's not a lightsaber.
It's not a
duel.
lightsaber duel. Okay,
Do you actually like Last Jedi?
yeah, I love Last Jedi.
Also, Kylo Ren and Luke at the end is not a lightsaber duel. You can't have a lightsaber duel if they don't clash lightsabers.
Kylo Ren versus Rey and Finn though is a lightsaber duel. In Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
But still, the fight between Savage and Maul versus Palpatine still better than that scene.
The fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best in the whole series. Changed my mind.
Anakin versus Kenobi. No, Palpatine versus Yoda.
You think that's a good? You think that's a good lightsaber duel?
I mean, yeah. Also, that's
We'll have to watch it together. I don't know if we watched the
Yeah,
same
watch the
thing.
entire series.
We need to do the Star Wars commentaries like ASAP.
Yeah,
like
I'm down for
Maybe
that.
that'll be
I'm down.
that'll be our project.
the entire saga.
Okay.
Yeah.
all,
You know what? Let's
What?
announce it right here. We'll do a Star Wars saga
Chronological order.
I actually like the Palpatine.
Chronological?
Yes, chronological. So we go 1, 2, 3, Solo.
Can we skip Solo and just do Rogue One?
No, we
No, I have to see it.
Solo, Rogue One,
Rogue One.
4, 5, 6, Ewok movie 1, Ewok movie 2,
No.
7, 8.
We're not doing the Ewok movies.
Oh, we have to do the Ewok movies. It was, okay, I will give up the holiday special if we do the Ewok movies.
Okay.
I will give up.
You know what? I'm interested to see because I haven't seen those, and I hear kind of they're not.
The second
terrible.
one is not that bad.
Okay.
Like it's not good,
Okay.
but it's not like.
Okay.
I mean, I want to see them, so I'm not opposed.
Yeah,
to
You know what?
and I
We'll
think they
do
make for good commentary. Too.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
This is also kind of gives you. Are we still doing this? A little taste or hint of our comeback episode, possibly.
Well, we don't even know.
Yeah.
We don't
never
even
mind.
have we don't even have any plans
So
set in
then-
stone for
yeah.
that.
I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing next week. Like I can't figure
I
this
just
out.
don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I have a few ideas for video essays that I'm thinking about
Oh, we
doing.
could do some.
One on final battles and why I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of the best, and then one on Daredevil. So
And I haven't pitched this to you guys yet,
okay,
but I'm going to pitch it live on air here.
do it.
I was thinking about possibly setting up an Instagram page where I can consistently upload like photos of things that the three of us have said we like, and just say, hey, if you're looking for stuff to check out or to stream, check these out, and then one of us can write what we think about it at the bottom. So like, hey, this obscure movie, we like say this is something we want to talk about, but we don't mention it on the podcast. Yeah. Just send out a photo.
Do it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't use Instagram.
I do.
So Ahmad, we're gonna be relying on you.
I'll completely
I would do it on Twitter, but there's not really like a cataloging thing that I can do like on Instagram.
So I don't
know.
I don't have like for the video essay thing. I don't really have a timeline for you. I'm gonna try to do maybe once a week over winter break, but
video essays would be really cool.
Yeah, I have some. The Final Battle thing and the Daredevil thing have been on my mind for a while, and I think that's a good way of like getting those out there, because I don't want to like bore you guys on the podcast with like, here's my thesis on
why Spider-Man 3 is a good film. That'd be mine. That's mine right there.
I don't know if I will allow you to upload that.
You will not allow me.
As the leader.
I reject your proposal.
We'll get some stuff to you. Sire, you wanted to talk about Battlestar.
So, I talked a little about Battlestar, so I'll try to make this brief, especially since in 10 minutes I gotta be somewhere.
Yeah. If we go long and you need to leave,
that's my phone.
That's true. I just thought of that. You can't leave early because your phone is the thing we use to record.
Spoilers, we don't use great equipment, we just record on Apple voice memos.
Spoilers.
If you want to do your own podcast.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you get more of a silent room, the Apple voice memos app picks up most audio pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we tried different audio episode, but
that was
episode 2.
Yeah.
If you want to
go back and check that out.
If you want to hear us with different audio, episode 2.
So real quick, I was like this morning because I had an early exam this morning, but I woke up way too early, so I had time to kill. And I was like, you know what? I should look up the best episodes of TV, and I found this episode like best episodes of TV this century. It's like, you know what? Why not? Let's get through this. And like 2 or 3 episodes from Battlestar popped up, and it got me thinking. You know, I really need to watch this show again. It's really good. It's my favorite show I've ever seen. Best, even more than Clone Wars. Favorite show I've ever seen.
Wow.
And so I was like, you know what? I might binge it over break. And I found out it is on Prime, and I believe most of it's on Hulu.
Oh, wow. You know what? That gives me incentive to watch them now.
Yeah. The only parts that are not on Hulu
Homework.
are, I believe, the 2 like direct-to-DVD movies. Or I don't believe are on Hulu. They are on Prime. But
are they good movies?
The second one is kind of pointless. So the second one is essentially just the first 2 seasons from the perspective of the bad guys. Oh. It's an interesting watch, but it's not necessary.
All right.
The first one gives you a lot more backstory to characters and makes things mean more. But
so is it necessary?
It's not necessary. Like, it's not vital, but it's not something you should skip over if you have the choice.
Okay.
But yeah, the miniseries and then the series. Do not skip on the miniseries before the series. If you skip the miniseries, you're going to have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
I think on either, I don't know if it's Amazon or Hulu or both, but I think they list the miniseries as the first 1 or 2 episodes of the show. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, check it out. It's best show I've ever watched. The ending is divisive among fans. I can't guarantee if you guys will love or hate the ending.
I know the ending. I think I know what the ending is.
Well, we'll talk off air, but yeah, it's because I don't want.
Do you
to
know what the ending is?
I do not.
Okay, you do not want the ending spoiled for you. Trust me. Like, it's still good if you know the ending, but like, it's that.
Sire and I walk together, so
yeah. The show is not. If you're not a sci-fi fan, don't worry. It's more of, if you like Game of Thrones, it's essentially a PG-13 Game of Thrones in space. Is it
on Prime?
Let me see here real quick. I'm gonna check and see if the first episode. Oh, okay, so first episode on here is not the miniseries. Let me see. Mind if I click this real quick?
Just take over
the miniseries right here. So that's what you watch first.
Oh, okay.
I'm clicking right there. The miniseries.
Okay, so I gotta know.
It's that and then the series.
Okay,
so there's the miniseries that you watch first, and then.
So the miniseries aired on Prime in 2003. And then it launched the main series that ran from 2004 to 2009.
Okay.
The movie Razor aired between seasons 3 and 4, but takes place midway through season 2. And
it's 3 hours and 2 minutes.
oh yeah, the miniseries, I will clarify, it's not exactly the most entertaining.
Okay.
The miniseries is essentially just setup. It was aired over the course of 2 nights, so I would, when you watch the miniseries, watch it 90 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So just watch 90 minutes, stop, and then
Okay.
You know what I say to stuff like that? Good. Get your setup out of the way
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did with the Clone Wars. I saw
Yeah.
that film. And
you get that out of the way, you trust me, once you get onto the show, you're going to be hooked.
Yeah.
It's just the miniseries, it's just, these are who the characters are, and this is how the premise starts.
Okay.
2 movies. There's actually 3, because Blood and Chrome is a prequel that takes place in the first Cylon War, but you can honestly completely skip that if you wanted to. The movies are just fan service. The real show is miniseries and then series. That's what you really want to check out.
Okay, sweet.
And if you guys check it out, tweet at us, let me know what you think. It's not exactly a show for kids, but it's not like a Game of Thrones ultra like blood and sex and stuff like that. It's
Cool.
got the politics of Game of Thrones, but it's a good time.
I like politics.
It's a good time.
It's a weird thing
Good
to say.
cast. There are, I should say, some heavy themes. They get involved a lot of religious themes in the show.
Will I be offended?
No, actually, it's pro-religion. So
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
there's a lot of Christian ideas. I don't want to say too much for spoilers. There's a lot of it. Now, I'll tell you more when we go after this because I can't really go into too much detail on air. But it's not an offensive show. It goes both sides of the line of saying different sides of an issue.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm tiptoeing around stuff here.
So the reason I ask is I don't mind if a show questions religion. I don't have an issue with that. I do mind if it's like, if you're religious, you're evil.
Yeah, that is not the concept of the show. It's mostly a, are the Cylons sentient and do they count as beings and all that? And then
Ooh, you really should play Nier Automata.
Yeah, that, and there's also
I'm like, if that interests you, yeah.
No, and there's one other major part that is reminiscent of Christian ideas, but I cannot say it without spoilers.
Okay.
So you'll just have to. It's mainly in the finale, and if you've seen the finale, you'll.
I haven't seen the finale. I know like the zing ending of the finale.
Okay. Yeah, it's addressed in the finale, and personally, as somebody who in the finales likes having the answers directly given to me, it kind of being left to your interpretation kind of made me angry at first for one specific thing in the finale. But overall, almost everything is answered. There's just the writers kind of wrote themselves into a corner with one character, and there wasn't really a way to explain it, so they kind of leave it to your interpretation.
Does anybody want the evidence?
I am fine. I think we have audio evidence now.
Audio evidence.
It's a shocker. I mean, I thought Cyber was going to win, but...
That being said,
that was very aggressive.
I think we had a really good episode tonight.
That was a good episode.
We were just running and
that was a fun sidetrack.
Yeah.
So what did we learn today? What did we learn on the Cate-Cast this week?
I've learned that I have a lot of homework. I have so much content to get through.
This turned out to not be the homework episode we had planned.
But
it was mostly just this is a stuff story relaxed.
This was MGS. Me arguing with Sawyer about MGS versus Nier Automata, and then me rambling about why I think video games are in a dangerous place, and then
we touched on Solo.
We touched on Solo.
Favorite decade.
We touched on Blade Runner anime.
Oh yeah.
We touched on Blade Runner anime
for like 5 seconds.
We did a lot of Game Awards.
A lot of Game Awards. I think
Smash too. We talked about like the whole basically the whole 45-minute to an hour mark was just Smash.
Yeah. Like I said, Metal Gear for me was bound to be my Kingdom Hearts thing. I was gonna talk about it. Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So let's think about this now on air so that we can promise. So we're planning on recording Monday nights, right?
I think so. Maybe.
That's when it works for all of us.
Monday nights. Yeah.
So Monday nights are our new recording night, which means that Tuesdays are going to be the new upload date.
Possibly Tuesdays.
Probably.
We are. We're thinking about, because this is an irregular show. Regardless, we're thinking about changing the format for next semester of the regular show. So we're thinking about ditching, each of us bringing one topic from each category. We're thinking about a lot of different ways to change it up so that we get more of what we hear is the best part of the Cate-Cast.
We're gonna make sure it's still gonna stay the same core dynamic, but maybe we tweak some things a little bit.
Yeah, make it a little, like I said.
I think I had a lot of fun on this episode, and it was mostly us just rambling.
Just rambling.
Just because it's stuff we know about and talk about. Yeah. So I think it'll make it more interesting for the audience if we sort of have that sort of.
Yeah, if we keep
we need more we need more friction, like with you guys.
Which when we get into Star Wars again,
it's gonna be. We kind of got into that tonight.
That's gonna be a really interesting discussion that we're gonna have.
But which maybe is that our comeback episode in January?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, we're hoping so.
So I think we can basically confirm that if we have a special guest on for the comeback episode, it's going to be the Star Wars
episode.
If not, then probably not.
Also, since I think the way the dates work out, we probably won't be back until beginning of February, more than likely.
Yeah, so
it's the 28th is Monday, actually.
Yeah, the 28th is Monday, day before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes
and
out.
we probably won't record on our move-in day. I don't think.
I would hope not. I mean, I don't.
Well, that's the day after move-in day.
Okay. Sunday. Well, so Monday.
This is what I wanted to discuss with you. Do you guys want to record that first week?
Probably not something I would recommend for myself personally.
Okay. So that in that case, second week of February.
We'll start it off.
Will be our first episode of the Cate-Cast proper.
Gives us more time to plan things out a little.
In the meantime, I will do the video essays just to keep the channel alive. What I'll probably do is I'll send an audio version to Sire, and then I can have Sire upload a video version to YouTube. So if you want, the audio version can go onto Podbean, and then
of the
video essays.
Okay.
So if you wanted your podcast feed to be able to listen to that, it'll only be 7 minutes. So I would recommend the video. I would tailor it to the video, but if you want an audio version, I'll send it to Sire, and then I'll upload a video version.
That being said, also, if you guys, I don't know why I'm saying this on here, but if you guys wanted for the Instagram thing, just send me the photo you want and a little text box of what you want to say, and just put it in our chat we have on Messenger, and I'll put it on the.
Cool. Yeah, we have a Messenger chat.
Yeah. It's the coworker Messenger chat.
Yeah, and Ahmad and I are much more free next semester because.
Hopefully, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
It's not gonna be.
There isn't as much of a commitment.
Oh no! Yeah,
next semester.
Not enough.
So we have a lot more weekends that we can do things with. Yeah. So
this was the inaugural 12 weeks of the show. Well, I guess 13 if you count Thanksgiving.
We did every week that we could have, which is except for Thanksgiving.
Except for my sick day, but
well,
we had a show every week. We had a show.
This was our very first try at a podcast.
Yeah.
We're planning big things for phase 2.
Phase two of the pod.
We might have some bigger announcements by the time the first show rolls around.
And follow us on Twitter at CastCata, at CASTCATE for updates. That's where you'll hear about everything we have.
Oh yeah,
that's plugged there.
So basically, now it's Sire's tradition to explain that Cast-Cata is our Twitter account.
Twitter's algorithm, when I put it in, for some reason it flipped it, so we're Cast-Cata, not Cate-Cast.
Good job.
Yeah.
What's the head of Twitter?
Jack Dorsey, I think. He was in
Good job, Jack.
Nepal or something, or I don't know. He was out doing something. Anyway, that's besides the point.
So we are. So you can catch us on iTunes, not Facebook.
Oh, not Facebook.
iTunes,
Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, YouTube. And Twitter, and it auto uploads to Twitter, so it's you can.
I think so.
You have a Twitter link on Twitter.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't checked our Twitter in a while, so I don't know really what's going on there. But hopefully it's up and running.
Yeah. yeah, leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you dislike. Tell me that you hate my face. It's okay because you haven't seen my face. Or
Also,
if you're one of my friends who are listening to this, yeah, sure, you hate my face.
Also, shout out to our international audience. I don't know if you're just using a VPN and showing up as another country when you use a VPN, but apparently we have listeners from Sweden and the UK, according to Podbean. So, hello, international viewers.
Yeah, if you are the one from the UK and the Sweden.
I think there's more than one potentially.
Oh,
but-
if you are the people from UK and Sweden, let us know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the fact that we have UK viewers.
Thank you to the thank you to the loyal listeners.
Like
Yes.
it might be just somebody using a VPN, but tweet at us.
Yeah,
Please,
I
we
will
wanna know
say
there's
I will
actually
say
people listening.
a huge thank you if you have listened at all
Yeah,
to the
to
Cate-Cast.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
to
everybody.
literally everybody who has listened to the Cate-Cast.
Yeah.
This show
My
started.
dad included.
Yeah. This show started as just us in the film lab going, "Why don't we do a podcast?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we
okay.
Okay.
So we literally had
We had, like, the first few weeks.
Let's tell the story because we had
Yeah.
we had basically like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, but to those 2 weeks we had very interesting.
Yeah, we had
conversations.
a lot of really neat conversations in the film lab, and then at one point I remember Ahmad joking that he's not gonna get homework done because we're just gonna be talking the whole time during
Yeah.
the film lab. So
Which I still don't. But
so at one point I think it was you, Ahmad. You were leaving.
Yeah.
Mom was leaving, and I think I mentioned.
Was it you or was it Ahmad? It was one of you two who offhandedly oh, we could turn this into a podcast.
I
Was
think
it Sire?
I think
Might have been sorry.
I'm happy to credit it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to credit it to Sire. I just didn't remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I've always been interested in doing a podcast,
Yeah.
and that's what sort of sparked the idea. And here we are. We're 12 episodes in. I think that's a real testament to the work.
And I will say, shout out to some of the shows that inspired at least me in wanting to do the show was Pretty Much It. They're on YouTube. Go subscribe to them. They don't do the same show anymore, similar to how we do. It's just the guys Eric and Jacob making commentaries now, but they're funny dudes. Check them out. Tell them Cate-Cast podcast sent you. And then, obviously, if you're interested in movies and you're on YouTube, you've probably heard of Schmoes Know. We're part of the inspiration for the show as well.
Podcasts that inspire me. What's Good Games? Basically, when I wait, what?
I was just saying kind of funny. But the
Oh.
show kind of funny. Yeah.
Actually, no, I've never.
No, you don't want to.
I did a little bit, but when they split off from IGN, I was kind of over it. And then every IGN podcast that I listened to until Greg and Colin left, I guess I continued after. But in any case, those all sort of inspired the dynamic. I think that the vision that I have for this show is very much inspired by that. Yeah. So. Ahmad, do you have any podcasts?
Dude, freaking Cate-Cast, have you heard of them? Yeah, really good. Really good podcast.
Also, one I forgot to mention, Because Video Games podcast, Jake Baldino, formerly of the Pretty Much It channel, has his own show with his friend Andrew Gebbia, and they do the same thing as us, just spitballing, talking about movies and nerd stuff.
Yeah, I mostly just watch video essays. I don't really listen to them.
Video essays are great. Go watch video essays.
You know what? Maybe one of the Instagram posts I do is YouTube channels you should follow.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Our Instagram was just going to be a bunch of, hey, you should check this stuff out.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say?
Merry Christmas. Happy
holidays. Happy religious holiday season.
Yeah. And pagan holiday season.
Yeah. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
What else is
I think those are the main.
I think we're gonna hang ourselves pretty quickly if we try to go down this road.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going down a road here.
Again, thank you so much for listening. We will be back. This is a promise. We are coming back. We are going to be gone.
To fill the void.
Yeah, we're going to be gone for 6 weeks.
But it's 6 weeks of trying to get back on.
It always annoys the living crap out of me when creators are where they just disappear. and they don't say anything about why they disappeared. So I'm saying it right now. 6 weeks, we'll be back.
Yeah, we will, and there will be stuff in between.
Yeah,
There'll be our Instagram.
There will
probably
be
some
a
gameplay.
thing.
Yeah.
There will be at least a thing.
At least one singular.
We don't exactly know what that is.
Yes,
but yeah.
we'll figure it out for
And
you.
we're planning some bigger and better stuff for next semester.
Okay. As usual, share with your friends.
Yeah.
If your friends are nerds like us. Tell them.
Yeah. And thanks for listening.
Thank you.
I'm Ezra.
I'm Ahmad.
I'm Sawyer.
Bye.
Bye.
Ahmad.
Oh wait, what?
Sorry.
Bye.